All right. We are live. Hello.
Hey,
Welcome
folks.
to the Leftist Mafia. This is episode 7. So if you're new to the show, it's very laid back, very free form. So right now, it's just me and Mike, and Lance is away for a second. We're going to have Olay in here. We're going to have Bender. I believe Illuminati is, she still doesn't have internet at her new place, so she's not here this week. But I believe we also may be having a special guest. But
yeah. I'm not sure about the status of that. I do remember Blair saying that she'll be back on the 30th, which is when Comcast will give her internet. And dealing with Comcast is no fun. So I'm so sorry, Blair. Love to you, but that sounds like a headache.
Yeah. Moving in general is just the worst.
Yeah, it's awful.
Right, I've heard nothing but bad things about Comcast. I've heard that it's an absolute nightmare from American friends.
Yeah, part of the problem is that they have monopolies almost in every single city where they're at. So if you have a complaint and you can't switch to anyone else because that's it. So you've got to suck it up.
So this week we're streaming on Facebook. And look at the very first Facebook comment we have.
What is
arrest dirty dirtbag Joe Brandon and Hunters Save America.
Nice. Finally, someone said it.
Hey, Olay, how's it going?
Oh my God. Hey, Olay, what's up?
I logged on and looked at hair.
I love the Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook audience. My Facebook audience is 90% conservative, and they just keep that page afloat. I love you all.
Nice.
Mine is 90% needs therapy. Like they're just crazy.
Yummy, I did my homework over the weekend. I watched Abbott Elementary, like you asked.
Me too.
Yes, you did. You liked it?
It's cute as fuck. It's such an adorable show. Oh my God.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm quite smitten. So I used to work in film and television back in the day before I was an internet silly man. And the hardest thing to do. Oh, nice. The hardest thing to do is pilots. Like pilots are so tough to write because you got like 20 minutes to introduce all the characters, make everyone fall in love with them, be funny and entertaining, and then leave, and then make someone want to watch it again. And like the pilot for that show, it's very, very good. It's very punchy. It's funny. Gets you to like fall in love with all the characters. It was well done.
Oh,
yeah,
I love that. Abbott Elementary is great. I'm so glad you liked it. I told you would.
It's so good. I got only to like episode 4, I think, but I absolutely love it, and I fucking love the principal. She is hilarious.
She's so funny.
Okay, thank you. She's the star of the show. Ava.
She is the star.
She's so
I laughed. I don't know why, but I laughed so hard when the dude came in and he's talking about, well, it's so hot because of climate change, and she's like, nerd. Like that made me laugh so hard. Like she's so fucking hilarious.
She follows me on Twitter.
Does she really?
No way.
What?
Oh, that's a huge get.
Yes,
that's bigger than Matt Binder. That's bigger than the Matt Binder.
Matt Binder follows me on Twitter now.
I had to fight harder for Binder, though. I had to fight for that follow.
Your mic's not on.
My mic's not on?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, probably not. It's probably the computer mic.
Yeah, I'm curious. Who's your biggest follows?
My biggest follows?
Yeah.
Let's see who follows me. AOC, John Cena.
John Cena.
I have that one too, but he follows like a lot of people.
Like
he's like a weird one,
right? So,
yeah.
I'm gonna check that.
Hold on, I honestly have a lot
check that.
Let me see. So, like,
He does follow me. What?
I was really happy about.
And I don't follow him. I gotta.
He's probably. I can't believe Mike Figueroa doesn't follow me on Twitter.
No shit.
Brandon, like a lot of people follow me. Honestly, I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, like Susan Sarandon, I think is a big count when I see that.
I wonder if she still follows me. I feel like I haven't heard.
Oh,
from her recently.
I should check that one too. I'm pretty sure she still follows me.
He does. Good. I just feel like there was a time when it was very clear that Mr. Jimbo was going really fucking crazy, and Sarandon was still like on the. I couldn't tell where she stood on Jimmy Dore versus like reality. So,
Thankfully,
hopefully
she
is,
seems like she's
yeah.
pretty
Thankfully, she
grounded.
seems like she's grounded. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like my
So,
biggest follows are like AOC and Susan Sarandon and I'm blanking on John Cusack. That's probably like one of the biggest because he's so
I
nice
got John
too.
Cusack too.
He interacts all the time and stuff. Like I love him.
Let me see. I don't know. Like Sarah Silverman, Jesse Williams.
That's big. I don't think I have Sarah Silverman.
I have Jesse Williams. I'm trying to think. Gotta honestly, you ever have like the things that make you excited are like different than the ones that are like. I wish I knew too. Like a lot of the big like politicians and journalists that'll follow me, and I'll only know as big as my friend will be like, "Come hire me," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll follow back." All right, my bad. I didn't realize. Like, all right, yeah, no, I'm trying to think. Oh, Bender, look at you.
That.
I was even on time.
I got him quick this week too. He came in. I'm like, Bender's there. In. No waiting room.
Look, we love it. We love it. So what do you
What
want to
have I
talk
missed? What we talking? Oh, we haven't started yet. We're just
We were talking about
started.
who
Let's
your
shoot the show.
followers are.
Yeah, we're bragging about our biggest follows.
We're doing celebrity flexing. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. It really is cringe. I'm so
I
sorry.
didn't even remember
Yeah.
people. Like, it wasn't me. It was
So I was saying at the beginning of this when I first began streaming, we are streaming on Facebook this week as well as YouTube and Twitter. So Facebook is a very different audience. The first chat that we got from Facebook was someone saying arrest Joe Brandon and Hunter Biden's to give you an
Hell
idea.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So it's a very interesting place that we
I'm
are
on board,
at
brother.
now, but
Hi, Mark.
I feel like
Ooh. Can I read this comment? Actually, I could put it on the screen. I really like this comment here. Offshore accounts matter. Ask Nacho Cheese anymore. Nazi Nancy. Like, I don't even know what this means, but I love it so much.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. Nacho Nancy.
so
Nacho
this week-
Nazi Nancy.
Sorry, Nacho Nancy.
At some point, we can talk about Crowder because this shit's hilarious. It's cracking me
Yes.
up. The rest of you, though, decide. I don't know. What should we start with? We can start with something heavier. I'm hearing a little echo of me. I'm not sure if what's happening there.
I don't hear you echoing.
Then it's probably you.
A word? Is it me? Am I echoing?
No, I might be
No, you're
echoing
not
up from
echoing.
your end. It's okay. It's fine now.
You're not
Um,
echoing. I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I'll move my mic away just in case it's me.
But yeah, I don't know. So, apart from
I want
Crowder,
to say,
whatever.
Could I? Well, we're going to talk about Crowder a bunch, I guess. Could I start with a question to Matt Binder because I've been able to ask this to you, and you know a lot about mechanics that go on, and you're a real urinalist, unlike the rest of us. So when it comes to the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and the 15th votes that it took, there's a lot of people on what some might describe as the clown shoe side of the internet right now, taking a victory lap, saying that forced the vote not only was effective, but it rendered the once far right extremists now powerful members of the Republican Party. I was curious to know your analysis of what took place and what actually happened and what they won.
My feelings on forced to vote after what happened, or
No,
whether-
not just your feelings, but like, can you explain what happened? Like, what were the real gains for people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and I guess the losses for society in general?
Well, apparently they got some concessions about what is going to be voted on the House floor. They got some committee. They were put on. Some of them were put on committees that they were angling for. But other than that, I mean, I don't see what is that. We'll have to wait and see what actually comes out of it. I mean, they just got promised things. Some of them did get committee spots, but also people like George Santos got committee various spots on committees because they just don't have the numbers to be screwing around. So they got to make everybody happy, to be quite frank. It's not like those 15 got something the others didn't, at least not so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Lance,
I mean,
That's all. I just wanted to know Matt Binder's opinion on that.
I mean, the
when I was
difference
watching it all
is-
go
the
down,
difference
I was like, he usually like you have a really keen sense for numbers and stuff. And like for me, I was like, I know the original idea was that they leverage what soft power they have to get a ceremonial vote on force the vote, even though they knew it would be DOA by the Senate, right? Like the Senate would never pass it through, but they'd be able to get a ceremonial vote. And to me, a ceremonial vote is kind of pointless because people won't really give you their true feelings because it doesn't matter. They know it could be like, I can just ceremonially say, yes, I support this, knowing that it won't actually come to pass. But in this case, it seems like they kind of looked out for themselves, like the far right extremists and like, the guy accused of human trafficking, the QAnon lady, all of them now have pretty decidedly more powerful positions as a result of holding Kevin McCarthy hostage.
Right. We'll really have to wait and see if anything comes out of it. I mean, the idea that this proved forced to vote anything is kind of absurd because nothing's happened. I mean, they got some paper promises. They got some committee spots. I mean, so did the squad. They were put on various committees.
Exactly.
It's not like they were left out completely. Like, we don't know what went on behind the scenes exactly, because the difference is the Republicans aired their grievances, whereas the progressive members of the House went and worked with, negotiated with Democrats behind the scenes. So they would, but there's also very different crowds too. You have to understand that, in the Republican base, there is a large group of base supporters, like voters, who are far right and like what the far right does. I mean, look how they elected Donald Trump. Democrats don't have that. The Democratic base is fairly happy with their Democrats. I mean, it sucks, but that's just the reality of the situation. And maybe it was good for those 15 right wingers to speak to that Republican, that far right base with the Republicans, because they're much larger. Whereas the squad probably would have shot themselves in the foot if they basically were standing in the way of Nancy Pelosi to the Democratic base voters. There's just not the same dynamics going on in either party. Like, you have to look at what's going on and strategize based on that. It's that simple.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the squad doesn't really know how to play politics as well. They kind of get steamrolled by Democratic Party leadership. And like one thing out of the force the vote movement that I absolutely unequivocally agree with is that overall the squad needs to be more antagonistic towards leadership. And every once in a while you'll see like a good tweet where AOC will vaguely call out leadership. But overall, I want them to challenge leadership more and the Democratic Party establishment. But we don't get that. And so that is disappointing. And I do agree with the force the vote crowd on that. They
have to do it in a way that isn't going to alienate the people they're trying to win over, to be quite frank. Like the normies wouldn't like if they were defiant to leadership, unlike with the Republican Party. Which the right loves dynamic. That shit, whereas the Democratic base does not. So you have to they need to pick their fights. They need to stand up to Democratic leadership, but also not do it in a way that gets around the clock, week-long coverage of how they're undermining the party, like the 15 right-wingers on the Republican side did, where, they did definitely speak to their base and got support from them, but to the rest of the people who were paying attention, they made themselves look dumb.
Yeah.
That was my read. I was just curious if I was correct in my assessment. So I'm glad I'm validated. That's what I came here for, and I'm happy to have that feeling.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could help you feel good about yourself.
You can validate me. Thank you. Thank you for validating me, Matt Binder. I appreciate it.
It's good to feel validated every once in a while.
You're welcome. I appreciate you appreciating me for validating you.
So what else is going on this week? Olay, what's been going on in your world? What have you been following, or what stood out to you? Any news?
Honestly,
any things?
No, nothing. Actually, I was just reading our chat and I see people screaming about, like, are y'all going to talk about Crowder? And I'm like, who is that? So I was just
I've been talking about that for the past hour and a half.
Should we just start with Crowder? Should we just do Crowder
back and forth?
I think we should. That's what's on everyone's minds.
Crowder facts.
Yeah,
Okay. We could do
and now
some Crowder.
Candace Owens jumped in.
Just like with the speaker fight, the people want us to talk about something, and being that we are good progressives, we're going to give the people exactly what they want and not challenge anyone on that. So there you go.
All right. So if you'd like, I could intro this. I did a video on this today. I'm breaking this shit down. I watched the full hour from Daily Wire and the full 30 minutes from Steven Crowder. Basically, right now, there's a bit of a feud going on between Steven Crowder and the Daily Wire. Steven Crowder was with Blaze TV, a conservative network. He no longer is as of the beginning of this year. So he was offered a contract with the Daily Wire for $50 million over 4 years. $12.5 million a year. That is more than Anderson Cooper makes at CNN, who apparently makes $12 million. Or Tucker apparently as well. So
Well,
we're talking.
That's because mainstream media is not playing with the money we're playing with here in
Why
England.
though?
Oh yeah.
I don't get why
Why? Cucked by the Matrix. That's why.
Why offering him so much money though? Why?
It's hard to say because he's not worth that much. I will, to be clear, it's $12 million, and Crowder takes care of the production costs. So Crowder has I think 6-7 people on staff. So they're the ones that do the editing, the shooting, all that stuff. So it's 12 million or 12.5 million for the whole group for a year. But even still, is he worth that much money? So basically, Steven Crowder came out pissed off about this offer that he got from Daily Wire, $50 million.
What do you mean? Hold on. Excuse me.
Right?
Yes.
Wait, what? Mad about the money?
Yes, he's not just the money. He's specifically he's mad that there are elements in the contract saying, hey, if you are taken off of YouTube, well, then we have to deduct a certain amount off of the contract because we no longer are making any money back from you. So that applies to Spotify, Facebook, whatever.
Because he's scared because he want to be a bigot freely, right?
Yes,
exactly. He wants the money without any strings attached. As if why would they give him $50 million and not expect to recoup the cost at all? I still
protection. It's such standard boilerplate. This is what a major entertainment corporation is going to do. You are an asset. Steven Crowder is the asset. They're going to insulate themselves from potential risk because they see in his catalog he's going to be racist for money or transphobic for money. That's his shtick,
That's reasonable. Also, to the person in the comments who said it was Illuminati, okay, she is. Her internet wasn't set up. She'll be here next week though.
Mm-hmm. She just moved.
She will come back more.
Yeah.
So I have a clip having to do with this specific point of Crowder taking issue with some of this parts in the contract. Let me play this here, if I can. No, that's not it. Wait, here we go. Here we go.
Don't sign something that has another $100,000 daily penalty if it's not signed off on beforehand.
This is the best part.
You get hit by a car, you have a sick day, you could lose $100,000 a day. Hey, anyone wonder why there's burnout in this? Anyone wonder why you have kids come up and they leave? And never to come back? You think if you had that kind of a penalty, you think if someone said, hey, we're going to penalize you $10,000 every day you miss coming into work, you think you'd be stressed?
What world is Crowder living in? Every single person deals with this shit. They don't lose. First of all, they're not making 10 grand. They're not making 10 grand a day.
That is my fucking pet peeve. That's what I'm sick of with all these rich motherfuckers. No, it's upsetting. Where is the self-awareness? Have your rich people problems amongst rich people? You see what I'm saying? You can't be aware. Come on, bro. Why must they try to reframe all these rich ass problems? What are you how stressed you gonna be? What? What? You're fine. You what? You're what, bro? Your fine is more money than people are making for. Who the fuck do you think you're addressing?
Yeah.
I was people would lose a finger for $1 million. People would actually cut off their fingers for $1 million.
I would let them take one of my arms for at least $5 million. They can just take an arm.
Mike, you gotta play video games.
I was trying to keep things.
You sign crazier contracts.
Quickly. All right, we're doing this. We're going.
You sign crazier contracts for damn freelance agreements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not even. What do you?
I have been fleeced so many times. Are you kidding me, Crowder? Like what the fuck?
That's
Yeah.
your.
And he called it a slave contract.
Yes.
He called it a slave contract, a $50 million contract.
And by the way, in Daily Wire's video, so the Daily Wire video, the CEO is the guy in that video. I'll show you a clip from that in a second as well. He says that was the floor, that he's open to negotiation to give Crowder more than 50 million over 4 years. 50 million was just for negotiation purposes. He said, actually, let me play this clip, because this also exposes how Crowder he has claimed his entire life that he is independent, answers to absolutely nobody. Yet in this video, as I am buying time as I get it out here, he completely exposes himself for being an individual who, here you go, check this out, who is not in fact independent.
We don't have audio.
So that don't work no more.
I'm not getting any audio.
Oh, you're not getting audio?
No.
Are you not? I'm not either.
Oh, weird. What the? Okay, let me deal with that. As we continue discussing Steven Crowder. Basically, if I can't get the audio on this, this co-creator of the Daily Wire is, our co-CEO, is explaining all the billionaires that have backed Steven Crowder over the years. So he mentions 3 of them here. He talks about how ever since he has known Steven Crowder, he has worked for someone else, and he names one billionaire, then another billionaire, then another billionaire. Crowder has never actually been independent, which goes to the point that this is why Crowder is so incensed by this contract, because he has always had wealthy benefactors that have no strings attached. And now finally he has to actually work for a real corporation, the shit that he props up every single day. He's very pro-capitalism when it comes to his policies, but all of a sudden he sees a real contract and he's freaking out because he realizes this is what a real contract is, or at least he doesn't realize this is what a real contract is. He thinks this is crazy, but this is just
and the guy
very normal.
He's so reasonable, by the way. He explains it in like the plainest terms. He's like, Steven, I'm just trying to say that like we want to insulate ourselves. This is an investment. That's all this is. This is nothing personal. We're against big tech. We're not working for big tech. What are you talking about?
Do you want me to try to share the clip, David?
Yeah, you try.
On my end? I don't know if that'll make a difference, but I will try.
I think it was because I was showing the window and not the actual tab. That may have been the problem.
Let's see.
If you can share the tab. The issue with my computer, that there's weird audio with my Mac.
Okay, let me try to see if this works.
Don't enjoy the same luxuries that we do of being independent.
Steven, the whole time I've known him, has worked for someone else. He was paid by people.
Can you all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
JTV, when I met him, which was owned by a billionaire at the time. Then he was paid by CRTV for a number of years, which was owned by a billionaire at the time. Then he was paid by The Blaze, which was subsidized by a billionaire. And he didn't necessarily have to be profitable. And he doesn't know for a fact that he was profitable because, as he has said very publicly, all those companies, none of them really shared all the information about what was happening with them. So Steven feels very certain that his show was always profitable, but he doesn't know that his show was profitable.
Don't enjoy the same luxuries that we do of being independent.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god, weed. It's the weed for me. It's the weed. I oh my god. Like, it's fascinating because these are the people who will like, you know, get so upset and so incensed when you try to talk about like white privilege or entitlement. These are the people that are paying other people out to like want to be like a welfare state or something because they want like livable wages and shit, but they say this shit like it's like relatable, like we like come on, you have to know when you have it, and you know what I mean, like you have to have some on what kind of problems you have, right? Like be reasonable with yourself, sir. Like what?
And he does kind of know, because in his initial video, he never disclosed how much the contract was for. It wasn't until Daily Wire came out with their response that they mentioned the 50 million. He never mentioned the 50 million. So he has some awareness of how much money that is, and how if he mentioned that, a little bit of the sympathy would have, gone away. But
he responded though again after they released their response, and then Ben Shapiro also said it's $50 million. He came out saying it was never about the money. Okay, it wasn't about the money. Like, he's trying to make it seem as if like
recorded them too.
Yeah, he recorded them, and he played it on a Talk Boy.
Yeah, I played it on
my favorite tidbit from this whole thing is that apparently, according to Will Summer of Daily Beast, apparently when Steven Crowder initially released his video without mentioning the company that offered him the money and how much money he was offered, Jordan Peterson tweeted out support for Steven Crowder. And then once Jordan Peterson found out that the company that he was that Steven Crowder was knocking is the company that he works for, Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's company. So then he went and deleted his support for Steven Crowder.
So good.
Oh, and Candace Owens called him a bitch too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have that clip, Mike?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, if you wanna watch that too.
I think it's working for you.
It's very juicy. Also, Matt Walsh commented as well. He didn't mention Steven Crowder by name, but it's obvious who he's talking about.
What a coward.
Yeah.
Nothing happened here other than nobody wanted to pay Steven Crowder $120 million. So he turned to his viewers, who he thinks are stupid enough to think, how this negotiations work, right? Like, this is like normal. You kick it back and forth. And they were going to make up for his loss. So people that are upset by his video, the millions
not what it was, but
watched it, are now going to give him $1, whatever it costs to be in the Mug Club. And they're going to become the $120 million that he feels that he deserves. First of all, we're just going to say this, unrelatable. Unrelatable. People are trying to pay for bacon and eggs right now at the grocery store, trying to buy a steak. And you're over here crying because somebody couldn't meet you at $120 million. And it is crying. I don't like it. It was a total bitch move. There are plenty of things that happen across all organizations in the conservative movement where I will say that I empathize with Steven Crowder and saying that sometimes you feel like a cynic, which is like, is everybody selling out? Are people doing this? People doing that? There are a lot of things that Daily Wire has done that I disagree with. There's a lot of things that Turning Point has done that I disagree with. There are things perhaps that PragerU has done that I disagree with. I have worked with all of these companies, right? But to do a total bitch move and go out to the public rather than trying to resolve these things and these slight differences behind the scenes, and to make it seem like you're the hero and you're the true one and you keep it authentic when something really nothing happened other than you didn't like an initial term sheet. And all you had to do was tell them that and tell them what you didn't like and go back and forth with lawyers like everybody else. I think it's crappy. I think Steven is a little egocentric. He probably will do better on his own. I don't think he knows how to play on a team. And by the way, the last thing I'm going to say, because I'm going on Tim Pool's tonight, so I'm going to say it anyways later, is that I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Steven Crowder who also screwed over somebody he used to work with? Was it not Gay Jared? Because he had him tied up in a contract. Wasn't that Steven Crowder who did that? So is he supposed to be the moral high bar? Or are we not supposed to call him out for that? Here's the thing. Steven, why don't you release Not Gay Jared from his NDA and allow him to talk about how he felt he was treated by you? Because I know that at the Blaze, everyone says that you're actually not that nice. You treat people poorly, but you bring in so much revenue that everybody just has to take it. So I don't like it. It stinks to high heaven. And I'm calling you out on that because I think it was crappy that you threw mud on me. Did it the first time via a tweet a long time ago. You're not doing it a second time. Total bitch move.
Pause right there. Come on, pause. It's not about pause. That's all it's really about. No, because this is the pot calling the kettle unrelatable, hypocritical grifter. That's all this is. Like, that's all that's about. You don't like him personally. He said some shit to you. Because, bitch, you was doing this same shit months ago on behalf of Kanye. She came out there like, oh, poor Kanye. His billionaire friends won't give him what he wants. He needs his girl. Shut the fuck up. You do the same shit. Like, give me a break out here in this goofy looking funeral gown. She make me sick talking shit. Like, that's what I don't like. I just have your pride. Just keep it G real. Like, just say you don't like him. Just say you don't like him. You don't like him. But you need to offer up this rationale condemning him that is easily applicable to you. Just lets me know, like, you just out loud playing in our face. Like, I can't stand it. The way, like, for you to be being like, oh, he thinks his audience is stupid, and so do you. Your whole business, all of you think the right is stupid, and everybody that watches you validates that bullshit. Oh my god! I listen to her talk. I'm like, oh.
No. I'm not sure what else there is to add to that discussion. I mean, it sounds like Crowder's not going to take the contract. Like his new video sounds like he's pretty definite on that. So he's a moron.
The bridge has been burnt, but I don't know if you noticed in his video, he basically is doing all of this, in my opinion, to start a new grift. Like he's saying, well, if all of you want to fund
his own empire, no question.
Yeah, so he could start his own Daily Wire.
Also, can I have a hot take that I don't know is a little unpopular, but how much do people like us who run our mouths for a living want to run our mouths? Like, it's always like, when you think about it, you have your own platform. You have a million different channels in which you talk. What fucking message do you think you have? What is this deep, dark thing that you need to impart on the world that you have no channel which you could say it, why you need every channel to give you untethered fucking freedom and access? Like, why is there no ability to accept that, like, different rooms is different stuff? Like, I recognize I can't go on the hill cussing and carrying on the way I want to do in my video and stuff like that. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, no one has to tell me that. We don't have to have a fight about that. Like, I recognize when people, their contracts and agreements, like, you understand that. I'm very sick. It's so, like, it tells me that we're out of touch, these silly ass conversations all the time. Like, average person goes through life, not even really, no one gives a F what they think. They don't get to express themselves. They don't get to hear them out. We run our mouths. A whole thousands of people know what we think on any given issue. We run our mouths so much that people can guess what we think about an issue before we say it. And it's just like, oh my God, 50 million, but they have terms. Like, what did you want to say that you're being prevented? What is the contract preventing you from saying that you can't say it somewhere else?
Exactly. He does
channel to say it.
If he wants that freedom, he does. Then don't take the 50 million. Like, that's like to go on and complain about it. That goes to your point, Mike. This is a new grip. This is a way to get people into his mug club and give him money. It's all just and this comparison I made as well with in my video. Look at our sets, all of us. Do we have like multi-million-dollar like sets, like crews behind this? No, we don't have these billionaire back. We don't have all this unlimited cash coming into us. These people on the right, it's clear what they are fighting for because of the people that give them money. Why else do they have that money? Why else are billionaires feeding Crowder for years and years and years without any strings attached? Why would they do that? Because he's there in their economic interests. Meanwhile, here I am with the fucking green screen, Mike with some panels, like Matt with a white.
Hey,
my wall. This is my wall.
Olay, you have a nice room. It's a little different, but like we don't have sets and shit. We don't have money, right? Like it's a whole different thing here. And it just, the point being, you know what we're about, right? Like we are not fighting for billionaires. I think that's very clear from our commentary, but also you can tell based on what we have.
It just reeks of, I just like, it's like a privilege that I find like kind of sickening, because I guess maybe it's something about having like being a public defender or something, and you know what poverty and stuff look like and yada yada yada. I just have it in my mind, like even my own self, like, you know, a few years ago, 3 years ago, I consider myself firmly the broke. Now, you know, I'm financially comfortable. Like, you know, I do all right. I pay my rent. I live my own apartment, and I feel like very blessed and aware of like the privilege in that. And I am not somebody that collects, like, I'm an immigrant, so I have a work visa that stops me from getting paid in all of the ways and whatever it is. So I only get 1/32 of what is financially I could and would bring in. And I feel still very much so like, by reason of looking at the world around me, like, you're doing well. My problems are not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so when I see these people that are literally like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars trying to position themselves as the everyday man in order to center themselves and their bullshit fucking individual problems, people, I'm like, could you give me a fucking break? But then when they're actually, you know, we're talking about issues and things that affect people and people that are really struggling and stuff, all of a sudden they got a fucking problem with any level of compassion or something. But I'm supposed to hear you talk about 50 million. I don't give a fuck what the terms of a $50 million contract. Are you crazy? There's literally nothing I could ever do in my life that's gonna have me talking about a $50 million contract. What are you talking about? If somebody wanted to give me $50,000 right now, I'd be like,
right? Seriously.
I could do a little something for that. 50 million, and you're like, a slave contract. You invoke slavery for $50 million.
He also, okay, I want to add one thing. He made fun of Colin Kaepernick for apparently turning down millions for a principled stance. So that's one thing he's already done. And then a second thing, he said he has comparable offers. He's like, this was one of many offers that I've gotten around the same price range. So other people have been shooting him $40 to $50 million 4-year contracts as well. And like, he keeps saying this is about big tech. It has nothing to do with big tech. All it says is that, again, like, if any of these big tech companies decide to demonetize you, we want to recoup our losses. You're an investment. We want an ROI. We want a return on our investment if things fuck up. And again, you have to be a complete like child who's never dealt with the real world to think this is unusual for that much money. You know,
and the reason that's in there is because they clearly are giving him full editorial control of his show. Like you can't ask for both. You either get the full blown editorial control and then take the hit when you get, there's consequences for what you produce, or you let Daily Wire oversee it to make sure that you don't get hit. And there are no consequences to what you produce. I mean, you really can't have it both ways, but that's what Crowder wants, obviously.
It's just unreal. They just do so much whining. Like, it's like there are always going to be some regulations. Like, it exists somewhere. There's no like just totally truly internet platform unregulated spaces, whether or not you run into it, in your content. And like for me, like anytime I try to go on TikTok and upload a video, the minute I do it, TikTok be like, oh, this is violated guidelines.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, fuck this app. And then I go back.
I gave up too.
No campaign. I know no marching. like there's a
right.
Like
we could be cashing in.
I covered this week how Hassan put out a pro Black Lives Matter video on MLK Day, and TikTok permabanned him and his editor. Yeah. And it wasn't until there was a news story about it that they reinstated his account because it was so blatantly racist.
That's exactly how TikTok gives it up about my content. And you know what I say? I've been Black every second of my life, so like I anticipate this. Like I don't know what fully free space. So I just be like, oh, okay, damn. Twitter lets me get my shit off, so let me go back there. And the way these people just is like, oh my god, like any level of anything, like you have rules, like things come into play. Like I was looking at the YouTube comments on yours on Rational National, David, and I decided I like your audience. I was like, okay, I like these people that are most I already love them.
They're mostly good.
Yes, they mostly said wonderful things about me, except Mudslinger88. I just wanted you to know.
Away the name.
I wonder if he's watching right now.
I just want you to know I fucking see you, Mudslinger, talking about. I was like, oh, word.
Imagine if he's baked right now watching this.
I wish I remember the name of the person who replied to them, but I was like, look at the haters. Look at the fucking haters. They were like, what did he say? He was like, he said, Olay. He's like, Olay adds nothing. She's not a good fit. She's just too loud and obnoxious and some. And I was like, you are somebody who lacks taste. You are a hater of the highest form. Like that is what they call a bad take. An unpopular opinion, and I just want you to know it is not lost to me. You pick only my Black ass out this lineup, and somebody else responded, and they were like, she has too big of a persona. It becomes a one-woman show. And I say to that, tell everybody else to get their fucking weight up. I just want you to know, I've been waiting to cook Mudslinger. Like I was like. I see you, boy. But the comments were very, very positive, and I noticed somebody was like, Olay's gonna get them demonetized, cursing. And so I don't know the YouTube rules. So someone, thank you for telling me. I was like, let me try and make sure I don't mess up David's money. I'm gonna try to curse less.
It's the Twitch rules, not the YouTube ones. YouTube's actually they allow a lot of horrible hate speech. It's Twitch.
YouTube is so back and forth though. Like, well, I mean, so YouTube allows hate speech on right-wing channels. Like, if I talk about the hate speech and expose the hate speech, I get demonetized. Like, it's all fucked up how that shit works. But I actually turned off monetization on this video. So there's just super chats. But I don't want to have to deal with. I feel like every time a video gets demonetized on YouTube, it impacts every other video of mine. So I'm just going to demonetize these podcasts. We can enjoy ourselves, not have any restrictions really.
And the privilege to make so much on YouTube that you can tell when something is affecting it.
Oh, I know. You can tell based on views.
Honestly, I don't notice any difference in any videos. I make the amount I make because of super chats mainly. So I have no idea monetization wise for ads. I don't even
views though. Like if you get a video demonetized, the views on the next few videos, every single time it's happened to me, they're all much lower than what a typical video gets. It
takes your whole channel for like a week. It's horrible. Yeah.
I don't have a YouTube channel yet, so I don't know the ins and outs. I'm gonna come to y'all in due time.
When's that coming?
Sometime in the next this year, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's gonna come this year. Y'all see I'm moving weight. I'm moving towards it. All right.
I feel like YouTube is the most fair, but it's absolutely not perfect. Like comparing YouTube to TikTok or Twitch, YouTube is the best for creators. But the problem is there's zero communication, no transparency. They just kind of like create these changes, don't tell anyone. And we just, like we're trying to learn as we go. And we've been doing this for years and years and years. So it's still better than the alternatives, but it is frustrating. But still, like going back to this conversation about Steven Crowder and privilege, it's like I used to work in retail and fast food. As long as I can pay the bills, like I talk for a living. Like I could never imagine telling my audience how difficult my job is. I literally talk. That's it. And so like these motherfuckers, they do less than us because they don't have to do research. They literally just make things up. Whereas we at least, even though we still talk, we read, we do research, but they don't. So their job is they talk for a living and their job is easier than ours. And they're still complaining and they think that their audience would sympathize with them.
In addition to this, like all of us, I'm assuming all of you get paid based on like people supporting each one of you individually, right? Patreon, some ad revenue from the videos and that kind of stuff. But you all don't have like the Koch brothers backing you. Right? You don't have big oil, big tech, or anyone got a Soros check yet? Because I'm told I'm supposed to get one. I don't see it, but
I would have a sweet ass set if that was the case, and an actual crew, and a researcher, and an editor, and a person that makes thumbnails. I do all that shit myself. So.
David, ever since you said that, like none of us have fancy backgrounds, but you're in a green screen, I put you in Scrooge McDuck's vault using your so on my stream. You're in Scrooge McDuck's vault. You have been for a
I should change that. I should change that to my background. That's pretty sweet.
Speaking of new backgrounds, I actually have a new background, a brand new set coming on Monday, funded by George Soros. It's going to be really cool looking. My main set. Yeah, no, of course. I have to actually lay it out. Like, I'm being sarcastic. It's not funded by George Soros. The total cost was like $350. It's going to look absolutely fucking incredible. So look out for that on Monday.
Whoa. Big spender.
Yeah. We're getting rid of the wallpaper brick, folks. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be pretty nice.
I have your old set, and I'll just take that.
Yeah.
Replace mine.
You know what I'm so thankful for? So if you remember, like you can kind of see it, my set's behind me. I have a bunch of foam pads on the walls, and my cat will fuck with me and she will just pull them off. Like she just grabs them, yanks them off, or she'll like rub her like they're higher, so she can't really reach them, but she like rubs her body on it so she gets cat hair on it. And so I have to go through with the lint roller. That's gonna be gone. We're getting rid of that shit. Like I'll have it on the ceiling and stuff just for sound improvement, but that'll be gone. So yeah. Big spender here, $350 set. Really excited.
Nice.
That's very dope.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So also this week, George Santos, aka Anthony, aka Kitara. What are our thoughts on all the new lies from George? So I did a video on George Santos' new lies, and there were so many that I actually forgot to include one that had come out that day because it had escaped my mind. He also pretended that, so the one I forgot in my video was that he pretended to be, or he claimed on a radio show, this is from last year, that he was an art curator and the Met Gala no longer let him in because he became too, or because they became too woke. So he could no longer be in the Met Gala.
Okay.
I somehow forgot to include, that's a hilarious lie. Like, that's in addition to his mom dying on 9/11 in the Twin Towers. That's in addition to him stealing $3,000 from a vet with a dog with cancer. It sounds like a joke, but that happened. And then in addition to him
I can't find
being
a
drag
It's
queen.
upsetting to me because like this is like it's clear that like nobody was paying fucking attention. Like, there's no way. Like, if you would have heard this, like, you cannot. There's no one person that heard all of these. Like, if you had been presented all of this information, not as a lot, just about any one person, you would fucking know. There's no way. There's no one person that knew it all. No one was paying attention. This motherfucker was just lying in the wind. Like, he was just like, just letting it fly. Yo, like.
But everyone lies on their resume. They all embellish on their resume. That's the defense. We all embellish on our resume.
No, bro.
Your mom died in 9/11, but didn't. Like, come on.
He's survivors of the Holocaust, Ukrainian Holocaust survivors.
He's a literal. He's a literal.
His whole thing was like, my mom died and on 9/11, and then it was. No,
she was in one of the towers
later, but she was working in the towers, and
which wasn't even true.
Right, and now it's she wasn't even in the country till 2003.
Yeah,
so, incredible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely.
But the dog one kind of ruins the magic for me.
I said this earlier on the Majority Report. Do we know for sure that his mom is even dead? I mean, is she going to show up?
No, of course we don't. No, of course not. We don't know anything.
No, she's dead because he asked for money for her funeral. That's how they know. He actually that's in the report. When she died.
I need a death certificate, and I need it not from him. I need it from the official.
I need it from Brazil.
Let me ask y'all something. Y'all ever know somebody in real life that's like this, like they tell you information that you just like just can't be a real fucking person? Like, I used to have a thing when I was young, like people who would like not make sense to me, I would literally think they're a figment of my imagination. Like, I had real friends that like they'd say shit to me. I'm like, this bitch doesn't exist. She's just here with me because this is not. I'm telling you, I had a friend that like, I'm telling you this, like I remember this shit like it was yesterday. I had a good friend in like grade 7 and 9 that like I know her to be poor, but yet she always had the newest, richest shit. Like all the things she would say to me, or like, "Oh, we have that at my house," and I just thought she used to be making shit up. Like, I don't know what this girl talking, you know? And I would just dismiss it, figment of my imagination. Then I remember it came out like her daddy was like a big fucking kingpin doing all kinds of. I was like, it all makes sense.
Holy shit!
I was like, she exists. This shit okay. I knew something wasn't adding up. I knew the math wasn't mathing. Like, this isn't like, who is a person that just like, you're like, how is this? What are you telling me? I don't. Ooh, you gotta have a person like that you've met.
Yeah, I think we all know at least someone at varying degrees of
not as bad, but
right. But this is a whole new.
No, Santos is like nobody's as bad as Santos. Santos doesn't. That's what I'm saying to us. That's what I'm trying to express to the room, is that he's a figment of our collective imagination.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to get off.
I'm dying to show you all the response to the drag queen allegations, because somebody had like the best response I've ever seen. So let me share this really quick, because this.
And by the way, it's the only thing he's actually tried to deny. Like everything else is just like he's ignoring it.
Actually,
and it's because the right wing doesn't like this. That's why.
This is the one the right wing doesn't tolerate.
Yeah. So
they have an elected official who's a drag queen. That's a real thing you can say out loud.
So he says, the most recent obsession from the media claiming that I am a drag queen or performed as a drag queen is categorically false. Remember those words. The media continues to make outrageous claims about my life while I am working to deliver results. I will not be distracted nor fazed by this. Look at this response. Like, girl.
Yeah, this is the best. Yeah, this one showcases it perfectly.
I mean, it's the same fucking smile. Like, how are you gonna deny this?
Wait, that's not a Wait, go back. That's not a Photoshop picture. Wait, what?
No, the first one is
you can match their teeth.
They're on top of each other.
Wait, let me see. Go back. Let me see.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Computer, enhance.
I thought
you can match the teeth on both of them, and you could tell it's the same teeth.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, one person like overlays his face on Kitara, who he is as a drag queen.
Yep.
And then go to the next screen.
Oh, I know he's fucking lying.
Oh yeah. Yep. And then the next, like, it's a perfect angle too, because it's like this is how his face. Like, come on.
Him, like, bro.
Yeah, and for my thumbnail,
nothing is wrong with this. Like,
no,
right.
That isn't the issue. The issue is that he's in the Republican Party that right now are calling drag queens groomers, and that these are grooming events. Like this is why he came out to denounce. This is the only lie he's trying, or the only claim of his that he's denounced.
He's a
that he denounces that, but he doesn't denounce the dog shit. The dog shit is the one that ruined it.
He did denounce that too.
Oh, he did he? Okay.
Yeah, he did. He did deny that after the drag queen, of course.
What dog shit? What dog shit?
Okay, so I remember Olay last week. I was maybe the week before. I was telling you, I was like, I love him. He's like Santa Claus. If we believe in him, he'll continue to be real on all the shit. Because back then it was funny. It was just like, how did someone climb the ranks and become this superpower? Well, not superpower, but rise to the level that he is, New York's 3rd congressional district, elected official, and have all these skeletons in his closet. One of those skeletons is that there was a dying dog who needed an operation. Someone did a GoFundMe. He took all the cash, ran, and the dog died. Yeah. He took all the fucking dying dog cash and let the dog die.
It was the dog of a homeless veteran, and it was their service dog too. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's almost like if you put that in a TV show, it would seem unrealistic. Like just no one would. It's too perfect. A homeless vet's dog with cancer. That's the money that he stole.
Is an elected Republican.
It's insane.
It's very American Psycho with Old Boy. Like, you remember that movie? This complete like batshit craziness. Like he's an actor. He's clear. I mean, child. I don't. I don't know. I can't make sense of it. Like living your life like that. I can't put my shoes on. I so hate. I can't imagine a life just full of crazy lies. It's not even like reasonable lies. Every lie is some nut shit. Why, bro?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You got to keep track of that stuff. How do you keep tabs on any of these
I don't think
things?
He hasn't, because it's
clearly
all coming out.
He clearly is not keeping tabs on these lies.
Doesn't care.
He is not keeping tabs on this. He just be saying shit. It's clear, like just saying shit. Like nobody paying attention to him, just tweeting in the wild, but real life.
There's also there's a hilarious moment.
Real life.
His former roommate was on CNN with Anderson Cooper, and his roommate's talking about how he once stole a scarf from me, and I never saw the scarf. Like the scarf meant a lot to him. He was given to him by his friend on the anniversary of his dad's death. So he's like, Santos stole the scarf. They show a photo of Santos at the Stop the Steal rally wearing the scarf. He's at the Stop the Steal rally wearing a scarf that he stole from his roommate.
Like actually, when you think about
it's just
like
crazy.
A very funny like gag movie. Like it's a very funny movie. Like
no one would believe it.
I can't help but laugh. It's so outlandish. It's so insane.
It's a film. Like he's a method actor. I'm convinced. Like convinced he's preparing for a role.
It's an elaborate prank.
An elaborate ruse. They're recording this. They're filming it. We're being punked as a nation.
We'll see the documentary in like a year and a half. So this is how I got into Congress.
Right. No, honestly, that'd be some wild shit.
Yeah.
It's like Tila Tequila in politics. Like that's what it's given. Like just any just throwing any wild shit at the fucking wall. Whatever. Let's see what sticks. Like who cares? It doesn't gotta make sense. It doesn't gotta be cohesive. Like
did you? So when I went away, did you all talk about the Baruch volleyball thing? Because that was also really funny. How I think the head of the Nassau County Republican Party, like they all denounced him and they called him to resign. Nassau. Okay, Nassau. Thank you.
I'm just a few blocks outside George Santos's.
Oh, are you? Okay. Yeah, the Republican, this dude is like, yeah, and he was telling me that he went to Baruch College and he was a star volleyball player. And, he was boasting about his credentials there with the sport. Turns out he didn't even attend the school. And like the way that he told the story was so funny.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, that's just me. Here we go. So let's see if the audio works. Let me do a little clip first.
The main thing that really kind of irked.
Good. All right. So this is the scarf thing I was talking about. This is Santos' former roommate on CNN. This is just great.
The main thing that really kind of irked me was when I went to visit him in his Flushing home in 2018. I came for a few days, and when I got back to Boston, I noticed a Burberry shirt and a Burberry scarf were missing. And I mean, I lose things all the time. I'm terrible. But the Burberry scarf, I think the reason why it bothered me so much was because my best friend Danielle had given it to me on the anniversary of my grandfather's passing. And it was more of a sentimental value than, a materialistic value.
I understand he was actually wearing something he took from you at a pre-January 6th rally in Washington. Is that the
yes, you can
scarf?
believe this. He has the audacity. Yes.
Wait a minute.
First of all-
He's wearing the scarf.
A stolen scarf to a steal the election rally. You have to love the irony. And the audacity, quite frankly. I mean, I
Wow.
wish I had that much audacity.
So when you saw him standing here at this podium,
First of all,
were you like, that's the scarf that I got on that relates to my grandmother's death? I mean, that's got to be infuriating.
There was a few choice words that I won't share with you, but yes, I was livid.
first of all,
Oh my God.
Hold on, now I'm sorry, I have to switch teams. Forget all of y'all. I'm pro bono representing George Santos right quick. Now that's a pimp. Now that's a pimp. First of all, he's wearing that scarf. Let's start there. Not my Uber Eats trying to call me. Hold on a second. Buzz the door. Hold on. Buzz. All right, bye. Okay, back to what I was saying. First of all, you have to be a special kind of. Do you know how much you have to hate a motherfucker? What kind of pettiness this to like have been somebody's roommate back in the day, like back in college? See them like embroiled in political scandal. All these lies are coming. You contact like, hey, hold on. I got some. That motherfucker took my scarf, and I'm still mad about it. Like
To be fair, this was the end of this interview. There was a lot more before it. That wasn't just about the scarf.
Look at him. He gave that scarf way too much lead up. Oh my God, why does man keep calling Buzz?
But so his roommate also talked about
that would have been pretty great though if Anderson Cooper did introduce him as we have it with us right now, George Santos' former roommate whose scarf was stolen from him by Santos. Let's
my
talk to
God.
him right now.
That'd be
That would have
hilarious.
been amazing. Wait, why is everyone leaving?
He'll come back. Also, during the same interview, so his roommate talked about how
Also, not to defend George Santos either, but I mean, this is definitely not defending him, but just to move this conversation on another point. Very, very bizarre to remember the scarf as the scarf given to me on my grandfather's anniversary of his death. I'm sorry.
it is a weird place. It is a weird time to give somebody a gift, but I don't know. I just figured they had some relationship, some friendship that they understood that weird present. I don't know.
Santos was like, no, this scarf was given to me when my grandfather died, actually, on the anniversary of his death or something like that.
Like let's say it was
steal the
his
story.
Let's say it was grandpa's scarf. I don't know. I just think it's an offbeat thing. But that's point to Santos. I'm just throwing out a little aside. But point is Santos. Go ahead.
His roommate also mentioned how he was close with Santos's mom, actually, and Santos's mom just kind of brushed off the lies and was like, "Oh, he just says things all the time." His actual words were that his mom said, "Oh, him and his stories." Like it's just kind of like, so his mom didn't really even take her own son seriously. Just like, oh, him and his stories. Because I mean, I guess from my mother's perspective, you just think, oh, what he some lies, whatever. He just makes things up, no big deal. But over the course of a lifetime, you add all this shit up, including the lie about her. Like it's wild.
It's just as an attorney, I just want to say that is George Santos' scarf. He adverse possessed that. That was open. And like you went like that's his scarf. You see the scarf. He wearing the scarf. He's not hiding it from you. He's giving you notice. It's open. It's hostile. It's exclusive. That's his fucking scarf, bro. Like you are talking shit. You see him in your scarf and you ain't run up on him for your scarf. You clearly don't want it that bad. So I was like, he was wearing the fuck out that scarf, sir. Also, that's nuts. Like people take you a punk. Like people take clothes all the time. Like you know how much clothes I take for my best friend. All my favorite articles of clothing. Like I can't even be sure that this shirt isn't hers. Like imagine she come to say something about me the minute I'm in trouble. Like girl, ooh no.
I saw her in the Breakfast Club. She stole my shirt.
Oh wow, you're a hater. It's crazy that you would hate me this way.
That thing on it, that on its own, whatever. But it's just funny in addition to everything else, and the fact that he wore it at a Stop the Steal rally. It's just too perfect.
That pet was fly. I'm on his side. I guess he's just like a pathological liar. Like you just be lying.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. It's lying about he has to lie 10 times a day or else he explodes. Like he's like the movie Speed where the bus has to stay over 50 miles an hour or it blows up. He's got to keep lying.
Like my Grammy and them who coincidentally used to lie a lot. We'll talk about people who lie, like people who lie so much. If they tell you the sky is blue, you got to go outside and check. Like that's how it is, man. Just be lying, like not even like no motivation, just shits and gigs ass lies. Like, oh, I can tell the truth, but what's the fun in that? Like, why are you giving it up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've known people who are like that, where every story you can tell that they're embellishing, and it's like, okay, that happened, but never to this extent, never to the point where you're like literally scamming people and stealing the money from their dying dog. Like that takes it to a whole new level. Like I feel like this man is
being a public figure.
Yeah.
That's the wild part. You know?
It's crazy to me. It genuinely is shocking. Like it's hard to like dissect this story and not think that there's some glitch in the simulation. Like, how the fuck is this person real?
David, when you were doing research for your Santos video, did you see the video, like this old one where he was in like some TV debate and they asked this one guy, like, what do you like to do when you relax? And so his opponent's like, oh, I like to kick back at home, have a Haagen-Dazs, sometimes wear my pajamas. That's a good night for me. And Santos gave virtually the exact same answer, just in a different order. He was like, well, I like to eat ice cream, usually Haagen-Dazs. I like to be comfortable, so I'll wear pajamas.
Are you serious? I didn't see that.
And he just, it's so weird. He just parroted his answer and everyone's just kind of like, oh, well, that's a good day. Blah, blah.
Can you find that clip? That sounds too funny.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I'll pull it up. It was on Twitter somewhere.
Santos ice cream. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Haagen-Dazs, maybe Santos might be enough to find it.
Oh, here I found it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Nice. I got a new one.
Let's see this.
One you haven't seen yet.
There's how can we keep track of them? There's just way.
I know. There's too many.
There's just way too many. All right.
Yeah, this is it.
World. So, Mr. Zimmerman, name one of your favorite family traditions.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. New Year's Eve. My nephews and I, my brother and sister-in-law, I get together in our sweats, watch a stupid holiday movie, some sort of stupid comical holiday movie, and eat the food that we shouldn't eat all year round. So that's the great thing. It begins with delicatessen. It goes into Haagen-Dazs is always a staple, usually popcorn as well.
Mr. Santos, your favorite family tradition?
Our favorite family tradition is just family time. We've always been, it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday night or if it's a Sunday night or if it's Christmas. Every moment we can get together, that's kind of a downtime. It's sweatpants, pints of Haagen-Dazs all over the place.
Wow.
All right, so here's Mr. Zimmerman.
What the hell?
Shameless. God damn.
No one is
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The look on the guy's face after is like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
He's not a real person. He looks like how Johnny Depp looks in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the same way.
Yeah, there's something going. I don't know, his work done or something. Like something going on there.
Something weird is going on there. Yeah.
This is a setup. I'm telling you, this is some kind of larger joke.
Do you guys remember that Kristen Wiig character on SNL when she was that woman? She played a character who always tried to one up. Like she would obviously be making something up and trying to one up whoever she was on the screen with. Like someone would be like, "Oh, I just won the New York City Marathon," and she'd be like, "Oh, that's really great. That's really great. I just won the New York State Marathon."
That's Santos.
Yeah, I remember that. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
That's him. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't
Absolutely.
go like comical movies. Yeah, that too. Yeah, the romantic comical for me. That's romantic comical. I can't really get some comical first of all, but
wow,
that's him. Yeah.
So
that's so funny.
I mentioned in my video that I think, and I got some pushback on this, but I think I'm right to say this. Santos is a worse liar than Trump in the sense that his lies are more outrageous. Trump lies for ego. Trump's lies are more impactful on society, do more damage to, the country, the world. But in terms of just the actual lies themselves, Donald Trump didn't say his parents or his mom died 9/11. Like there's even limited. Not again, this is not a defense of Trump. We're just like looking for the biggest liar of all time here. I can't think of anyone that tops Santos. Like Santos is, if that's even his name. His name is actually Anthony or whatever. But
yeah, hard agree on that. The Santos is worse than Trump.
Comes close.
Trump at least had he has a minimal amount of self-awareness. Santos has none. And that's not to say that Trump has a lot, but like a minimal amount to where you kind of like lower the level of the lies so they're not as outrageous, even though sometimes they do cross that line. But like, I mean, Trump even sprinkles in some truth or like will base the lie on a kernel of truth or something. Santos just like fabricates this out of thin air. Like there's a real difference there.
Yeah. Like the art curator at the Met Gala and like all this shit. Like just like what? Like Mom and 9/11, like just the most stupidest shit.
I really can't wait to see how he tries to lie himself into trying to stand by these lies that have already been outed. Like
he claims he doesn't know the homeless vet. Like,
how dare you say my mom didn't die in the Twin Towers on 9/11? Of course she did. And you know how I know? That's right. My father is Osama bin Laden. I mean, I'm waiting for
and he loves Haagen-Dazs and sweatpants.
Like, I'm waiting for him to completely just continue. Like, that's actually low bar there. Like, oh, I don't know that guy. We'll see what he comes up with when eventually people start, they're going to find like the tech vet who apparently forwarded this veteran to Santos's quote unquote charity organization for animals. They're going to find all these people who are going to back up the story. And then he's going to have to go from, oh, I don't know that guy, to twisting and slithering his way into trying to convince everyone that, oh, I forgot, I did know him, but insert insane story here.
Yeah,
it's just comedy for us though, but for the Republicans, they got to actually wonder, where's this all going? Like, you know how a whole bunch of Republicans already came out and like, you need to step the fuck down. Like this has just gone way too far.
But they were state Republicans in New York. When it comes to the House, they want those numbers. They don't give a shit. They're going to stand by Santos for the next 2 years. I can't imagine Santos winning re-election. But like for the next 2 years, they want those numbers. They're gonna try and keep them as long as they can.
No, they won't elect a drag queen twice in a row. I can't see the Republicans.
Oh no.
no.
That's when they draw the line. Like you could lie about your mom dying, you could scam veterans who are homeless who need surgery for their dogs. But if you put on that drag costume, that's when you become a groomer, excommunicated. So that's where he really does have to deny the allegation, even though he's fucking just caught dead to rights. Like you can't.
Unless you're Rudy Giuliani, because Rudy Giuliani actually got a motorboat from Donald Trump. So
right.
Can't forget Rudy. Rudy's the exception. Yeah. Well, because he put out, to the president. So that's probably why.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. I think he's gonna have a very hard time getting reelected because, the district he represents isn't really a red district. It was held by Democrats previously. In fact, George Santos won in 2022 by less than he lost by in 2020.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it was a turnout issue, honestly. And the person, I forgot his name. I think it's Swazi, the Democrat who previously held that seat. He wasn't running again. So it was a new Democrat versus a Republican challenger. So, everything was sort of in a midterm election. So everything was sort of turned around. Also, a big chunk of this district is in Long Island. And I don't think that 9/11 stuff is going to play in Long Island, where famously all the firefighters and cops who work in Manhattan live. So I don't think that's going to play.
True.
Yeah. I love Olay's return. Like she comes back and you see proof of it.
I'm glad you're doing that though, because I think Facebook would take me off. Facebook would take me off forever if you did that on the stream.
That was iconic. I love it. I saw the look on your face. Dude. I was like,
it's like nothing went on here. Completely innocent.
I thought I turned it on when it was done.
Wait, someone in your chat, David, said Gary says Binder has to take the seat. Should I run against George Santos? I'm just blocks out of his district.
Wait, are you?
Yeah.
Should I run against George Santos?
Are you announcing?
You live in New York?
I'm in New York. Yeah, I'm in Queens. I'm a Queens lifer. Born, raised, lived all my entire life.
Never left Queens in your life?
Never left Queens in my life. Well, actually, I really.
Queens is awesome.
If you actually throw out the percentages, I probably have not left Queens probably 90% of my life.
I hate Queens with all my heart. I hate
it's
Queens.
so yeah. Should I announce officially? Should I run against George?
Wait, hang on, Matt.
100%.
I think that
That'd
you
be
should
amazing.
run so you really have a chance. Run in the People's Party, please.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
You need their backing.
Yes. And I should run, and my campaign strategy should be run, promising to work together with George Santos somehow.
And the Boogaloo
Across
Boys.
the aisle.
And for some reason, you're really angry at Bernie Sanders the entire time you're running.
Come on, dude!
They've now turned on Bernie.
Ladies
That
and
group
gentlemen, I am
is
proud
hilarious.
to announce that I am officially running, and I am being backed by the LaRouche PAC.
Hell
Who was that ran again? That was back. That they were backed by LaRouche. Someone's been in the news lately. I can't remember. Who.
The one who just tried to, I think, assassinate 4 Democrats. He paid for the
Yes.
assassination of
Yeah.
4 people.
Okay. Yeah. I recall.
which
The
is
guy
which
who's
is
been in
wild.
the news lately. Oh, the one who tried to kill Democrats. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you think this would be a bigger story? Could you imagine if there was a story about how there was a handful of Antifa assassins that had been hired by a one-time Democratic hopeful candidate, and it's part of this massive conspiracy to assassinate a bunch of that would be fucking national news if it was in the other direction. But this whole thing went down. People barely know about it. It was like a footnote in the last week, and that's a pretty big story.
What are we talking about? Speaking of the story not being big, clearly it ain't because I ain't heard about it.
Yeah, you should break it down
I
because
didn't hear about it either.
Huh?
You didn't hear about it either?
No.
And you're all news people? Okay, so there is an American politician, a Republican, who ran, I forget if it was for, it was like a lower tier position. He wasn't actually, but he didn't win his election. And he called himself the MAGA king. His social media is plastered with MAGA everything. Anyways, it was just revealed last week that he was part of a conspiracy. He hired 4 people to assassinate Democrats, to assassinate different Democratic politicians. And he was going to potentially participate himself. And again, it's one of those things where if it was in the other direction, if there was the Antifa super soldiers who were being activated by some progressive or something, you would hear about it nonstop. But I guess maybe just right-wing extremist violence is so normal now or casual. Yeah,
I'm gonna release it to my part of the internet.
I'm guessing it's in New Mexico.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
this
it
happened in
is.
New Mexico,
Oh my
right,
God, how did you guess that?
Commenter here.
The chat.
Stephen K. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just figures.
Oh, just I just guessed the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he ran for Congress and that the election was stolen, and he put out some really cryptic and ominous tweet. I think in November or December, saying, "I'm weighing my options right now." And I guess that this is what he came
of the
with.
vote or something like that. So to give you an idea of just
I wish
how
people
bad
would
it
be
is.
for fucking real, bro. Be for fucking real. What? The whole the election rig things. Bring back shame. I keep telling you.
Yeah.
He took part
They
in the
have no
shooting
shame.
himself as well, by the way. The criminal complaint against Pena includes chilling details. In one case, bullets tore through the walls of a 10-year-old girl's bedroom as she slept. Just before that attack, police allege Pena had urged the gunman to aim lower when they shot at the politicians' houses. Charges
Oh no,
against
he
Pena
really was.
Oh,
he was
part,
no.
he's
I
a true
thought there
believer.
was a
He was
plan.
part of
No,
it.
this is he was doing this shit.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, he went through
He
with
was
it.
doing drive-bys on Democrats.
Mhm.
I want y'all
Yeah.
to that drive-bys. That's what happened. That's the right messaging. Someone should put me in charge of propaganda. It should have been called drive-bys on Democrats. That's how I'm gonna tell it to Twitter when tomorrow. That's crazy. That's really fucking wild. Shooting up the place, powerful. And how they figure out it was him? They see him. Did he have on a Pooh Shiesty? What do you? I'm so fucking sorry. That's the funniest shit I ever envisioned. Please expect to imagine this white man coming out the top of the car, real boys in the hood style, Pooh Shiesty.
Well, okay, wait. To be fair, I don't think he's white. It's Solomon Pena. I believe
What
he's
is-
Latin, if I'm not wrong. But either way, that is really funny.
I would show
really
you
funny
a
image.
joke about Black people's inability to dissect whiteness, but I'm gonna get you up on
Okay, so he got 26% of the vote last November. Yeah, and he got caught because he participated in the drive-by and the assassination attempt. So he's been arrested along with the other people that he was hiring
He
to
killed nobody?
do this. No one died. Fortunately,
That's why,
no one
and
was
that's
even
why,
hurt.
and that's why he didn't win this election because he don't know how to execute. You can't even fool through. You out there, you done like, how you doing?
Jesus.
That landed. I don't care what y'all say.
David, you still up on Facebook?
Yeah, I gotta check that Facebook account.
I do want to know. I do want to know exactly how they caught him. Like, was he driving around in like the Solomon Pena truck? Like, was he? Like, how did they catch him? I want to know. Like, yeah, he apparently was there. He paid these people money, so there was a trail there. But what was it exactly? Did one of them, give him up? Did he literally send them an invoice for Democrat executions? Like, was that in the invoice lines?
The content said the text messages. Did he have text messages talking about the drive-by?
It's probably something like that.
It gets even stupider. So he visited the elected officials' houses 2 days before the attack, apparently appearing at the home unannounced to complain the election was stolen from him. Oh my god, I didn't know that part.
These people be fucking unhinged. Like unhinged.
That's pretty.
That's really bad.
I was gonna guess maybe he asked like the New Mexico like political campaign agency, like, can political executions be campaign write-offs? Like,
oh my god!
I know you fucking lying. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I mean, that's NPR. That's not my coverage. But
so he visited the homes that he would go on.
He would later attack. Yes, apparently.
Like, was he measuring tape and like measure the houses? Like,
he used his
the election was stolen from me. Hold on 1 second. Let me just check the wind.
He used his own gun. The comments berserk one says they matched the gun he owned to one of the rounds. This is the stupidest fucking. Oh my god! Like,
wow.
As a defense attorney, this kind of shit is so frustrating because like there's a myth that TV will have you think like who your lawyer is it's relevant, but mostly it's what the facts of the case are. It's what you did. It's how the shit went down, and it's like, sir, what you doing? What you doing? How are you supposed to say? How you visiting the scene of the crime? You visited the people area. Arguing, you announcing yourself as their enemy.
Yeah, the election was stolen.
How would you defend him if you were his attorney? How would you defend him?
How would I defend him? If I was him at Raymond's, I would deny all. First of all, I'm going to get him out. I'm going to deny all the charges. I'm going to talk about his strong ties to the community. I'm going to talk about the fact they don't have no criminal record. He's been involved in that's the next thing. Then I will put him in preemptive like mental health treatment. I'm going to put him in a bunch of treatment and all these different things that on his next court date, I'm going to tell the judge how he's already doing these things on his own, leaning into his little whiteness. Then I'm going to talk to the prosecutor about a conditional plea where he's allowed to, where this time and these things he was already doing voluntarily on his own with the program. I'm going to use that to be counted towards it and take the plea and have his record expunged because the conditional plea, like you pleaded this on the condition that you do this and then we get rid of it. And so I would just have him in the program on his own and then take it that day and it'd be done and considered done and got rid. So I would handle it.
There you go. That's a pro right there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
or
you, Olay, if I ever fuck up or do something that.
I'm gonna request mental health treatment. I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna ask them for a 7:30 examination, plead like and this is the next thing, and I haven't found like incompetent on that. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Yeah, that ain't gonna stop no show. I represent many. I wouldn't appreciate it. I wouldn't appreciate those facts, but I'll figure it out.
What else went on this week?
Someone said if I ever commit a crime, I'm going to LA with you. And you're right.
Yeah, same.
Great. Thank you. Yes, I am good for it. I can't get you out of jail. That is. Sometimes I forget. Like, you'll be at a Raymond's and you'll be like, I forgot I'm nice. Like nothing is better than like when you swear, like you look at the facts, be like, oh fuck. Like, wow, shit, they definitely going in. And you're like, but this argument I can make, and when you get it off, oh, when the judge be like, yeah, at the end of it, they're like, let's fucking go. That's my favorite. No, I don't have a YouTube channel yet, y'all, but I'm working on it.
David, I got two for you. One would be Jacinda Ardern retiring. I know made a lot of people angry and or confused. The other one would be what's going on in America. Apparently, you're out of money and you're about to hit a debt ceiling, and all of us have to suffer because of your world hegemonic superpower control over all of our economies. I've also heard that.
Yeah, we're sorry about that. Just
on the on the debt ceiling, it's all just a way to try and negotiate. Like here's the thing. All the companies that back Congress, including every single Republican, there's no way that the GOP are going to default. I mean, that would just destroy the economy, right? That would destroy all their backers. This is just a mechanism to try and get cuts to Medicare, to Social Security. Like that's what this is all about, is just using the debt ceiling as leverage for negotiations for more cuts. Now, it's really about who blinks first. Like, are Democrats going to fall for this and really think that the GOP would go through with this, or are they just going to push it until they're forced to cave to, going through with raising the debt ceiling?
Yeah, it's a game of chicken, a very, very dangerous game of chicken. And like David said, like their donors would never want them to actually have the United States government default on its debt. It would be catastrophic. Would they potentially? I mean, I think there's enough, like the loons, like Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert. I think that they probably would. So it is really, really dangerous. But yeah, this is the only leverage that they have because it's a divided government. Like they can't pass what they want because the Senate will shoot it down. Biden could veto it. So these debt ceiling showdowns, that's their only chance to get something accomplished. And it seems like they're really going for cuts to Social Security. So they're going to try
Haven't
to
y'all defaulted in the past though? Like, didn't that happen in like 2011? And isn't there that other instance where like they held the government hostage for a certain amount of days and then a bunch of facilities shut down? I'm trying to remember
There was a government shutdown, but it wasn't defaulting on the debt, which would destroy.
Yeah, you're thinking of the 2013 shutdown where Ted Cruz read Green Eggs and Ham, and that was.
Oh, sorry, not that. Yeah, not that one.
Yeah, that was huge, just because the government shut down, and that was kind of like we haven't seen that in a really long time. But yeah, they're going to try to get Democrats to acquiesce, and I'm not confident that Democrats will be strong enough to like win this game of chicken. So we'll see what happens. But it's gonna be a shit show every time. The debt ceiling, which by the way, the debt ceiling is an imaginary thing. We could just get rid of it. Yeah. We don't have to do this shit. But every time it comes up, this is gonna be what they do. They want to cut Social Security. They've been salivating over it for a very long time. Specifically, they want to raise the retirement age. But I would recommend everyone go and read Matt Brunig's breakdown of the People's Policy Project, because there's like 92 different retirement ages for Social Security, basically each month between the age of 67 to 70. So it's really complicated. They try to muddy the waters, but at the end of the day, anytime they talk about raising the retirement age, that quite literally is a cut to Social Security, because if you don't access that benefit until later in your life, then you get paid less over your lifetime. So don't let them lie to you anytime it happens. Just know that when they talk about this, it's a cut. So yeah.
In France right now, apparently there's all these unions have combined, like I think 6 major unions there to go on strike because of the potential of raising the retirement age by 2 years. So like France, like they get out there and they know how to use worker power to stop any restrictions, or not restrictions, but any sort of changes to labor, and they have done a fantastic job of doing that. The rest of the world could, especially the US and Canada.
Yeah,
the last time that happened in France with the Yellow Jackets and all that, there was straight up like the firefighters union versus the police, and the firefighters were straight up like lighting themselves on fire and charging at them. It looked like Game of Thrones style shit. Like I was like, they do it different in France. Okay, we're so soft over here in Canada.
Yeah,
it's like 1 hour protest, I did my part, go home kind of thing.
Yeah, it's much different.
Yeah, I don't know how much you all wanted to talk about this. It's a little bit late news, but one thing that's been kind of bothering me is basically how many allegations have come out about powerful men such as Andrew Callaghan and Justin Roiland, and it just, I'm still kind of like shocked by it. I mean, I'm not shocked, but at the same time I am shocked, just because I just don't understand why people can't be good people and they have to be pieces of shit.
I don't know none of those people.
Yeah,
so
so
Justin Roiland is one half of the creators of Rick and Morty. It's a very popular cartoon.
I know Rick and Morty. My smoke tray is Rick and Morty over there.
Oh, okay, so one of the two guys, the voice of Rick and Morty, it came out that he was like a domestic abuser and all this kind of stuff, but like that was only the tip of the iceberg. Turns out he has multiple accusations of grooming children, dropping into their DMs, like 15, 16-year-old girls, and then straight up being like, I'm so attracted to you, you're jailbait, blah, 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 come meet up with me. Turns out he's like fucking monstrously bad, allegedly, creep show. And that was just Justin Roiland, right? The Channel 5 stuff is still coming out to this day.
Yeah.
New stuff is constantly coming out. The guy just like Channel 5 was basically like this really popular. First, it was a different YouTube channel, All Gas No Breaks. Then it became an even more popular channel, Channel 5, and then now it's an HBO like movie. So like the guy Andrew Callaghan basically just had a meteoric rise and was at the top of his game, and then all these accusations have started to come out, and it's like one of those when it rains it pours things. Like it's like one story after two story after three story, and they just get like worse and worse and worse and worse.
And if you haven't seen his work, he basically goes around to like crazy, usually right-wing like events, and basically interviews people in a very non-confrontational way to try and elicit like the craziest responses from these people. And yeah, it's wild, just the complete shift from him having that HBO documentary come out to like 2 days later, all of this, starts to come out.
Yeah.
And nothing surprises me anymore. Like at this point, when it comes to these things, right? Like we hear about it so often, and I think at this point, when you realize just how much in regular life, just everyday men don't realize, what things they don't realize is sexual coercion, what they don't see is like inappropriate. You just listen to what their banter is, and you see how easy it is for everyday men to have a bunch of incidents and things that they don't think of as that. Like how many, just the disconnect between men's perception from the women that they deal with in the same events. It doesn't surprise me by the time you get to powerful men just overtly doing so I'm like, yeah, like that's consistent with all the history in life, right? Like this how men give it up. Like, yeah, with power and authority, they abuse it. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised at this point. It's unfortunate. I mean, we know how it is. Like they are on a long list, and they're gonna be a bunch more after that shortly. I'm sure the next one will drop before we blink our eyes. Like every week we got a new problematic white somebody in trouble, like Andrew Tate the other day, and you know what I'm saying?
His entire life is a problem. Andrew Tate.
True. True. He's in his own category.
No, I'm proud. Yeah, he's down. He's down very bad. Down incredibly bad. Love to see it.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny you said that though, because in Andrew's apology, that's basically some of the stuff that he was saying. Like he never actually directly apologizes to the victims, and I think that's for legal reasons. Obviously, I think he's talked to a lawyer who said like, don't directly take blame for this. You're admitting to it. But like he at one point is like, I was raised to think that if you leave a bar and you don't bring a girl with you, then you're a failure. And I was raised to like believe that blah blah blah. If like she's into you, you should make the first move. And I never knew that like that I was actually coercing people into consent and stuff like that. And like, let's open that conversation. And what really pissed me off is like, okay, those are some of the accusations. He has been accused of like coercive consent. That is a problem. There's also like physical and sexual abuse accusations. There's a new accusation that just came out about someone who was in a relationship with him who said that he was stealthing her. And like he's not addressing any of
what
her
stealthing her when they pretend to have the condom on, take the condom off,
or they take the condom off mid-sex. Yeah. It's a form of sexual assault, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I didn't know that was what it was called though.
Yeah, it's called stealthing. She was like, I was in a committed relationship with him. Anyone who's like a fan of his or is in his inner circle will know who I am, even though she was hiding her identity. And she's like, and part of it is that he would tell me things like, he would see pictures of my kids and be like, I really want to have a family someday, blah, blah, blah. But he should have known that I was very specific about my boundaries. I do not want to have like unprotected sex. And still he did it without my consent kind of stuff, right? That came out the day of the apology. And I didn't see like, all the other huge names and big streamers who've been half decent at calling out everything that he's been accused of, like even pick up on it. By that point, the apology had already taken over, and now that's like the new narrative. It's like, well, Andrew's already issued his apology. He's going to get to seek therapy. He's going to go into AA, and we'll probably see him in like 3 months, maybe.
Yeah, it's not. that's why so much of like what we teach in society and how people feel about like it's why misogyny and sexism is so serious, right? Because it's not even the inability to understand a concept, it's the inability to apply it to a certain group of people. Because I have an ex-boyfriend who like sexually assaulted me twice, same way, right? Same sexual coercion. And the other day, this is a thing that's been discussed. The other day he goes to tell me this story about this woman that basically did the exact scenario of what he did, right? To me. And I'm thinking he's telling me because he finally gets it. Like, that's why I think he's telling me the story, because it's an exact, like, he's like, oh, I finally fucking get it. Because he's telling me all about how violated he feels. And I'm like, waiting for him to be, I'm like, oh, you get it. He's like, what? Huh? Makes no connection. But he understands all of the different, you see what I'm saying? All of the different things that I'm trying to say makes it wrong to me and what you did. He just can't see it in a scenario with me because he doesn't see me as equal to him. He doesn't see me as having the same like autonomy and the same like right to stuff. So you can't, you know what I mean? You can't really force yourself on somebody who doesn't really have the right to say no or to not be with it. So he didn't see it. Like, and I realized like, wow, this is the fundamental problem with something like, it's not even like you're an inherently fucked up human being, but something like misogyny, something like sexism, unchecked, this is what it manifests. And that's what I told him. I'm like, yo, I know you don't mean any harm, but the reality is you are in fact, like you are, I listen to you, I see how you perform, and this is the harm that you do unintentionally because you are a misogynist, you're a sexist, you think this, you don't see me and you as equal in what you think about women. And that's what it leads to situations like this. Because it's not like they inherently don't get it. When you hear them, they got the concepts. It's just the people that they're dealing with, they don't see as, you know, people in the same way they see themselves, I think.
And because it's because it's internalized, and they, in some cases, as you mentioned, don't really clue in to what they're doing. I think a lot of them view it as like a defense or as like a free pass because, oh, I didn't realize I was being shitty. But like, no, you like that doesn't give you the freedom to be that person. Like, you have to realize how your actions are, how they affect other people, how what you do is bad in the moment, even if you may not realize what you are doing and the inherent damage of what you're doing in that moment, it's still just as damaging. So like the only, like, you know, hopefully people like that, once they're told, then they're able to change and learn and grow, and that's, you know, the hopeful outcome with some people like this, but largely it just appears to be a way to enact power on others, and they simply do not care about how it impacts people.
No, absolutely.
And I'm for restorative justice. Like, I wasn't watching the Andrew Callaghan apology waiting to see like X amount of tears or how sad does he truly look? Does he truly regret this, right? It's more like, are you like undergoing the process and the steps of restorative justice? Are you going to acknowledge the wrong you've done, the people you've wronged? Are you going to then work to do restoration? Are you going to make their conditions better? Are you going to improve yourself? Are you going to try and like make sure that others don't commit the same problems? Or is it basically like, I want my career back, how do I get there? Like, how do I get down that road to be a star again?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Would you consider UK Novara Media host as a guest? I've been on UK Novara Media. Funny enough, like what else? What a small world.
Jealous.
Yeah, I was on there. I have a thing. Talking about Rittenhouse. Yeah, I have a segment with them. So I've been on there and actually do.
They're the most well-known UK outlet I know.
Were you on there explaining how you would defend the Calvary?
Hell motherfucking no. Hell no. Hell no. Like, you don't know how fast, like, you know, there's such a popular misconception that like public defenders, I gotta represent everybody. That's not true. Or it's like this hard work to get rid of a client. Like, the minute a client starts some racist relationship with me arraignments, I'd be like, oh, okay. I'm like, judge, put it on for retainment. They gotta get a private attorney.
Just make it a call back to that New Mexico Democrat shooter guy. Yeah, the Republican.
Rittenhouse get shot in the Bronx. Shot probably not. They're gonna be shooting no white man. You know what kind of time they're gonna do? like whatever happened to the Reaper. I be all in the chat. Like, I'm like, what they saying in the chat? What they talking about over there?
Oh, they're all chatting, having their own conversation.
Yeah, I'd be like, look what they saying. Like,
yeah. I feel like the Facebook comments kind of moderated with time. Like we got a lot of Nazi Nancy is I think what that guy called her.
Forget.
I gotta see this.
But it seems like he went away, and yeah, it seems more normal. So shout out to the Facebook people who are just normal folks. Like
I'm not really seeing Facebook comments. Thank God.
I'm checking the Facebook stream. There's 7 people on Facebook watching.
Hello to every one of you beautiful Facebook.
That's why it's not that bad.
Good, I really appreciate that. I love that.
Shout out to the Facebook 7.
Damn.
It's like my mom and like 6 other people.
Why does Jennifer hate us so much? Jennifer McKinnon, like, girl, if you don't like it, why you don't go where the love is? Like, my girl,
agenda at all?
5 minutes ago, she was like, "Stop talking!" Like, bro, exit the scene. Like,
Oh my God.
now she's like, "This is terrible." Did it have
my
an
own
agenda at all?
design.
Like, girl,
Why
you
do I have to
don't
keep
want
watching this?
anything. Like,
There's nothing else on the internet.
you're not being held hostage, sweetie. No, you have agenda, girl. The truth is no.
She's stuck in a room strapped to a chair watching this show. She can't leave.
Eyeballs pried open. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, my girl on here, like, could you please shut the fuck up? Turns up volume.
There are over 550 people watching on YouTube, over 360 people watching on Twitch, and we're going.
We're watching.
We're going.
watching
Hey,
Facebook.
taking calls over on Facebook. Where
We will read your shit live on the air.
There's Judy Washington. Hey, everybody. Hey, Judy.
Oh,
Judy.
Holding Facebook down over there.
Man, sometimes I will wade into the human support Facebook, and it's always something I regret. It's just like one conservative shitting on me for being a soy boy, and then you have other people like LOLing below that. I'm like, man, they are just like sitting here fucking roasting me. These boomers, like they're having a field day, and feels bad, man. No, all the lefties are gone on Facebook, so nobody's there to defend me.
I avoid honestly all the comments. Like I think like from the first episode, like I looked at the comments, and honestly, it was always mostly love. And I told you there was a couple of like Mike and David's audience that'd be like, I want to hear from Mike and Dave more. I'm like, unless Olay, I'm like, am I holding a rope around their neck and stopping them from talking? So I stopped looking. So I don't look at the comments, but I went to send somebody asked to watch the show. So I went to go send them a link. So I go type in on YouTube because I didn't feel like navigating search. So I was like, let me just go on YouTube. I typed it in and I saw Rascal. So I go to the links, and you know how it'll just show you whatever without clicking on the comments, like the first top comment. And it was like something about me, like Olay, something else. I was like, oh, love, is that love I see? And I was like, let me go in the comments. I was like, oh, they love me. They really love me.
It's mostly love, I gotta say.
Yeah. And then I saw Mudslinger, and I was like, it's beef. It's beef, Mudslinger.
I just love the Mudslinger 88 put on blast. He's gonna be freaked out when he watches this, or they. Who knows who this is?
I was like, I want you to know. You all ever seen that episode? Oh my god, it's a show on It's on Hulu. It stars a big white woman. Her name is like Addie. Is that her? Y'all know I'm thinking about. She was like on SNL. She has a show on Hulu. Child. Anyway, in the show, she's like
Adie Bryant.
Yes, her, like her. She has a show. And in one of the episodes, she writes she works for a news organization. They put out articles online, and she has this one particular troll that's just fucking with her all the time. So she goes and has like a hacker find his address. She goes and runs this man down this house, like knocks on the door. She's ready like to fight him. And I was just like, literally, I'm looking at the comments like, I got something for you, Mudslinger. I was like, yeah, I was like so tickled in my house because I'm like, bro, literally every other comment on this video is nice and about me, all the top comments, and I'm like, fuck Mudslinger and fuck the 5 people who like his comments too. Fuck them. Like, literally,
you should memorize all the names of the nice people that like you, and forget the mudslingers. Forget the mudslingers.
But I see my followers know. Like right now in the comments, I could see Tyler Hackner. That is one of my followers that interacts with me a lot. I know, I recognize they know.
Tyler is amazing.
Yeah, Tyler's great.
They know. I know. Grandpa fought like fucking Wrath. I see that. I know Roller Dragon. I know those names.
Mm-hmm.
I know a few of these people. I interact with people all the time. But yeah, Mudslinger.
So I saw a comment that really It piqued my interest. I'm trying to find it, but basically somebody wrote, "I'm giving birth as I watch this." Shout out to
that sounds like an attempt to try to get on screen to me. I don't know.
That means a lot.
That certainly got my attention, but I mean, if you are, good luck.
That is really dope.
Yeah,
I've been in the room when my girlfriend gave birth. We would not be on the internet.
Yeah, you're a little bit.
Where's it going with this?
I'm terrified of pregnancy.
A lot of different ways the story could go.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, me too, and I can't get pregnant.
No, let me tell you when it happened. Let me tell you. I ever tell y'all a story of how I developed I realized pregnancy was actually fucking sick. And it's one of the ways they be lying to you as a woman, like just trying to sell you dreams like it's not scary. So it was, picture it, it's 2009. No, 2008. 2008 or 2007, Juno's out. 2007, Juno. And you know the scene in Juno where Juno's going to go get an abortion, and the girl, the Asian girl outside of the abortion clinic is like, your baby has fingernails. And Juno was like, she can't have this abortion because her baby has fingernails. And I was like, oh my fucking God, the creature inside you has fingernails. Oh my, I'm like, yo, it's so
that is creepy.
It annoys me.
That makes it real.
Like, because you're a woman, they act like sometimes, but just because they told you about it, that it's not weird and creepy. Like, this your whole body, that's been your whole body this whole time. Suddenly one man comes in you, and now a creature is growing from the inside out with no other purpose than to get out, and it'll kill you to do it. Like imagine laying, like that would be scary. Imagine laying in your bed. Imagine laying in your bed like this, lights off, and something hits you from the inside. That's not terrifying. Like, I don't understand, and I keep waiting for it to stop being scary. Yo, I remember one time, and people, and you know, women know it's scary too because they get real hypersensitive about it. I remember in college, I was staying by my big sister's house for like spring break, and her friend was there and had recently had a baby and clearly feeling, insecure. So, like I usually do, I go into my little why I think pregnancy is fucking weird. She goes to my brother-in-law like so upset, like, oh my God. I'm like, bitch, how you mad at me because you grew a monster? Like, what are you upset about? I'm just pointing it out. That is scary. And before like, y'all ain't think about that. Y'all realize that, right? Women be growing monsters that, like, without modern like medicine would kill them, right? Most of the time, they'll kill them, take them out the fucking game. That's a regular. Like, you grew all this time in your life, you trying to figure out how you die, and it's the monster you grew. I like, yeah, that's out there. The enemy is within. That's fucking scary. Like,
everything you say resonates because I just watched House of the Dragon, so I'm like,
oh yeah, Jesus.
I mean, Jesus.
Many abortion scenes. I gotta be honest with you. And like one was bad. I don't need another bloody abortion scene, torture. Oh yeah, that looks horrifying. Yeah, another one. Oh yeah, okay.
During those scenes, I have to remind myself, this is a TV show. This is a TV show. This is a TV show.
Yeah.
No, right? That scene
uncomfortable
where she walked out pregnant and she's like Dracarys and trying to get the dragon to. That stood with me as I went to bed. Like that was on my mind. It was so fucked up. It's like, oh my God.
Y'all want to hear a really unpopular take since we on House of Dragons? I know everybody thought that was super girl boss and badass, but I'm like, no, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. Like, so first of all, like, I get it. She's taking ownership of the situation or whatever, so this man don't get an opportunity to make a choice for her, right? But like, so they haven't like confirmed, right, that like your child wouldn't make it. Like, we don't know that. But whether or not if you're gonna die, you're making it a decision that you're gonna die anyhow. Why not give it an opportunity for your baby rather than light him on fucking fire, right? But if we get over that part, even if y'all aren't prepared to convict her on that, her children was standing at the fucking balcony, like, you let your children see you get fucking rotisserie. Your children. You selfish fucking bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, she could have even, like, if you know you're gonna go out, like, she could have told them bye. She fucking her babies right there. Like, they had no, like, you weren't sick, you were ill, and just Dracarys. Like, imagine you see your pet, as far as you're concerned. Imagine you see your pet take your mama out the game. And then, like, the next morning you go to sleep thinking it's all just a fucking nightmare. It's just a fucking nightmare. You wake up and your mama's hard fucking body is on the lawn, bro. I was like, girl boss, what the fuck is this, you selfish bitch? Like,
oh, that's funny.
Those poor girls. That scene really fucked me up. It fucked with my head.
To the person in the comments
You
that
gotta
says I
start a
sound
movie
like a
channel.
Bahamian, I am.
I don't know what else, folks. What else? Anything else happen? Any other interesting shit?
Hold on, but since we were talking about House of Dragons, though,
Go on.
Who teams y'all on? Who y'all rooting for? I want to hear these thoughts.
By the end of it, no one. I had allegiances at a certain point. Like so I'm a massive original Game of Thrones fan, and I read the books, and I'm one of those people who hates how the show ended and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't want to watch the new series. I didn't care. And then all the right wingers and the neckbeards on the internet were like, "Well, there's a black character in my science fiction and fantasy. This is the end of the world." So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm interested again. I want to see this. What's this all about?" I watched it. I was like, "Yeah." Like for one scene, I'm like, okay, there's a noble black character in this show, and then I never noticed it again, and I was like, that's what all the fucking anger and hype and vitriol on the computer was. Like,
making them black is what made the show the mythical, the supernatural Jerry Springer. I love it. Let me tell you why. Because let me tell you what's so beautiful. Chef's kiss. You never in your life thought you'd see a bunch of white people shame a white woman for having for not having a black baby. You never thought you'd see that in your life. You never thought you'd see that. Everybody hot because her babies are white, shaming the shit out of her in the kingdom. Like every time they see her, like I love House of Dragon. I love the level of Game of Thrones is so strategic and so complicated mess. Am I drinking a margarita? I sure am, champ. But yeah, Game of Thrones is super strategic, but House of Dragons is just mess, just petty drama and mess, just mess. She be fucking the help, right? That's literally all of House of Dragons is. I heard she was out there fucking up her uncle. The whole House of Dragons is the entire House of Dragons is. Y'all know Rhaenyra's a hoe.
That's true. There's no strategy. There's no birds. There's no plots. There's no this. Oh, they've been thinking about this for a long time. It's Machiavellian. They're gonna take down the whole throne. It's like, oh shit, yeah.
It's just petty Jerry Springer
This is happening.
shit. And I love it. I love it with all my heart. It's exactly my kind of drama. And everybody's fucked up. I don't think is there any. I will say this: the man who played Viserys acted his ass off. That man acted
really good.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic.
Really his ass off. First of all, Watson, you underestimate me. I am big. Sure I am. It's called multitasking. But
isn't that the whole point of the show?
Viserys is amazing. First of all, that Beetlejuice. Oh my god, why they got that man looking like that? Like, I have never in my life felt so bad for a rich white monarch colonizer. Like every episode, I'm like, I can't believe that man
that was gout personified. It was so bad.
I was sick for him. Every episode, I couldn't fucking believe he was alive.
Wasn't his whole deal the reason he was probably maybe the one likable character on the show is that he didn't cause any conflict and he largely
he caused all the conflict. He's a whack ass king. He's a nice guy. He's a nice daddy. He's a whack.
The realm was in peace while he reigned.
What peace?
There was peace in the realm. That was the whole thing.
There was more peace than how it left after he died.
He was upset. He was upset that I remember there was a scene where he was upset that he was worried that he wouldn't be remembered, and one of his hands said something like, the reason you're worried about that is because there's peace. You weren't a wartime king. Everything was good. Would you rather there have been some big war and you're remembered as some wartime hero, but everyone's life is shit? Yeah. That's what I remember from that scene. That they're supposed to be saying that. Yeah, I mean, he causes all the problems, I guess, by marrying his daughter's best friend.
Well, yeah, there's some problems there for sure.
Bro, I hate it. Okay, first of all, they began selective memory. There was, and let's not act like I can't remember what the fuck them crab shit that was happening on his time. They tried to get real technical about the jurisdictions to make it count, but nigga, there was war. Okay, let's start there. They had problems, all right. It was going on for years, bro. That counts. All right, that's one. Two. Listen, I'm on Rhaenyra's side for lack of where else to be, but.
Yeah, somewhere.
But however, there's no fucking reason why old boy Viserys needed to go make her make her the heir, and it's like you just panic for a second. Like, obviously you're gonna get a new bitch. Relax. I understand you feel bad, like, you know, her mommy just died, but go chill out, bro. You're gonna have more children. Like,
that was a little weird how like he had the heir and then he had a wife and a kid. Like, why did you do this so quickly?
Because
like,
he was and it made no sense. It made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, just a silly impulsive foolishness. And and that's the thing that like annoys me about like the whole Rhaenyra claim is like, bro, that's arbitrary. You don't have no real true. Your daddy created this. Is not he created this claim for you. Like, let's just let it go and call that for a fucking day from a long time. Like, he should have been undone that from the minute he married old girl, but he shouldn't have done that. That was his second big move. His big mistake marrying what her name is, Hayden bitch, Alicent.
Alicent,
yeah, he shouldn't have done
Alicent,
that.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, she got.
I couldn't remember her name.
She's a real hater because her only problem, she just mad that Rhaenyra got all the cute guys. That's all that's about. She mad because she got to fuck Beetlejuice. That's all. Ain't nobody but your daddy made you fuck Beetlejuice. Go take that up with him. Go take that up with him. That's your daddy. Daddy don't give a damn about you. No, and I feel for her with that. You Beetlejuice. I feel away as well. But no, if he hadn't done that from the minute he had his kids with Alicent, he should have just gone and reversed this decision. But you doing all this drama and shit, and Rhaenyra don't ever want to play her position. And also, it was another third bad move. He might as well have just let her marry Daemon, because they did all of that, all this conflict, all these problems to cause her to avoid marriage, just so she don't marry Daemon. You have her marry this man she don't want to go marry, create all this hocus pocus, and then eventually y'all get to a position where she needs to be with Daemon anyhow. That's her strongest claim, because again, you should have just done that. What the fuck? Now we gotta. And the only reason I'm on Rhaenyra's side is because there's nowhere else to be. There's nowhere else to be, and also, Rhaenyra does a bunch of bullshit, and I don't be having time for her. Like, get to cracking. What you got dragons for? Light the fucking place up. How you gonna spend your like? What are you talking about? What are you? They done stole your shit. Like, go run up on this place. Like, there's no reason why Otto Hightower is supposed to be able to get there like that there and be negotiating with y'all on the bridge and leave and go back talking about he making offers. Take his head off his fucking body. That's one. And then how? You know that these people have now usurped your throne. They was getting ready to. They're literally cooking all the leaders who wouldn't get down with them. Like, old girl just barely narrowly escaped. They out here ready for war. They making threats to you. You know how they go. They never fucked with you in the open, and you suspect. You're not even showing your mind whether or not they killed your daddy. And now you think it's a good fucking time. Your bastard children that they've hated from time, that they tell you they hate every fucking day. Now you say, hey, let him go take a trip on dragons back down there to go. What the fuck, bro? What you think you got all these soldiers for? I was like, the minute she did that shit, I was like, she ain't never seeing that little motherfucker again, bro. You're never seeing that baby. And now you want to get serious. Now your son dead. Now you want to look. You should have been on that fucking type of time from time. What's wrong with you? What you waiting for? What you got these dragons? This your only. You don't do nothing else. You don't have a day job. Your whole life is about protecting this one little clan. Like, you supposed to been cooking. What the fuck you and Damon out here doing? Y'all don't have shit else to do but plan for war with them. Now war coming, y'all caught lacking. You down a son off top. War ain't even started. You're down a son. You're down in air. Bro. That's fucking crazy. What a whack ass team to be on. But I'm there nonetheless because I don't respect a hating bitch. So fuck Alicent.
You got to upload that.
Yeah, Wilson, that was like beautiful. That was beautiful.
Your analysis. You know what?
You should do Game of Thrones reviews. Is what you should.
Do any of you know what happens?
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
No.
I'm not going to bring it up
because there's books. No.
The rant is good. The rant is good because there's some things that okay. I'll leave it there. But I'm on Rhaenyra's side, obviously, mainly because that scene where that starts the whole problem where Rhaenyra and Alicent are finally starting to maybe call a truce, and Alicent's starting to be okay with Rhaenyra, taking the claim, and then Alicent sits on that fucking bed while he's on his death. The king's on his deathbed, and she fucking thinks he's talking to her when he's talking to his daughter. That pisses me so much.
That sounds like frustrating writing because it's like this. No, like what are you doing?
I know.
It's cap. It's all cap. She knows good and fucking well he was not talking to her, and I know because
Alicent's an idiot.
I think she see her in the scene. She's a true believer. She's
thinks a dumbass. Yeah, she definitely thinks
that shit. She know that man don't fuck with her like that. She knows it. She knows it. The son fucking knew it when she
can't explain her expression in that scene. Then, but she's in that. She thinks it's about her. She's convinced in that conversation.
She's convincing herself she's a lying cap, bitch. You know pretty fucking well. That man is he's been dead for 10 years, walking dead, and that man crawled off his fucking deathbed to come and tell you again. I'm not gonna tell y'all a motherfucking again. That man dragged himself down the hallway and sat on the throne and said, how many times am I gonna tell you niggas that is the air? He said,
yo, Facebook, YouTube.
Sorry. But she fucking knows, like, it's cap. He's full of shit, bro. He does not. Your son is a degenerate. Your son is a fucking monster, bitch. Keep it real. What are you talking about? Like, I just wish he would keep it G real, bro. Like, just keep it real. You're jealous. You're upset. You're upset about how life went down. The kind of shit that, like, Allison don't even have a legitimate reason to be mad. Like, and I want to say this. I started off the show shooting Allison a lot of bail. Like, when everyone hated her from episode 1 because they knew the backstory, and they're like, I was like, okay, bro, she's like a teenager. Her daddy's pimping her out. Let's chill out. Not too much on Allison. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's calm down. They're wrong. These grown people are pimping this little girl. Like, they're wrong for that. But then, like,
true.
Then, right, I think to myself, so say for whatever reason, you fuck your friend's daddy. After her mummy just fucking died, and you marry him. Where do you find the fucking audacity to have a fucking attitude about who she may or may not be fucking? Bitch, you fucked her daddy. You fucking her daddy, bro. You're fucking her daddy. What the? Listen. I was like, excuse me, what? That's why we're upset, because, like, are we hearing the dynamics? And I was like, you are so upset because you have to fuck Beetlejuice. That's really what this is about. And my heart goes out to you. When I saw Beetlejuice on top of her, I was like, I felt it. I understood, but I was like, what you should do is slit Otto Hightower's throat. That's who you should be mad at. Like, take that out on him. Why are you mad at Rhaenyra? Because she got all the cute little boys in the kingdom, you hating ass bitch. And that brings me to the worst character in the history. Now, if there's somebody that I really I'm ready, like, I will fight him myself.
Sir Christian Cole?
Oh.
I fucking hate that. Was there any bigger turn than him? Like, oh, this guy's so nice. What a piece of shit.
I just gotta say, it's really funny that you said Sir Christian Cole, because I'm looking at you, and you look a little bit like Sir Christian Cole.
Oh, Jesus. We are very different on the inside.
You give it up. Like, people tell me all the time that I remind them of Jon Snow. So you look like a little bit
I've
like
gotten Jon Snow too. I'm like, maybe I don't know.
I hate both those characters. That's hilarious. So Christian Cole is, oh my god, he is the most bitch ass. Like, I've been trying to figure out what the fuck his problem is for ages. I even ran it back to try to figure out, because I'm like, yo, what kind of 17-year-old pussy did she put on you that has you moving like this? Like, relax. And at first I was like, this is first time. Like, that's what, and even that doesn't read. Even that doesn't track. But I ran back the episode, and my man said he used to be around the place fucking mad bitches. So what's the problem?
Wait,
and yeah, he said that.
I didn't know that. I thought he lost his virginity, and then he's not an honorable knight, and he lost everything. I didn't know
that's
that.
the word. He used to be a peasant, bro. He was fucking mad bitches. And I remember they was talking about it in the episode where she kills where she doesn't kill the white horse that she finds, when he chased after her and they having their little talk and walking by the beach. He talks, but I used to be around the place sowing his oats and da until she gave him his noble status, blah blah. So he had mad. So that's the first thing.
That's even weirder.
None of his. He has no fucking grounds, no points. And I'm gonna get to this. Let me walk through this bullshit. You're the help. You know what's up. Like, you know she can't marry you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, is this not implied? Like, this was quiet pussy that wasn't understood when this happened? What are you about? Like, I don't get it. And you can't act like somebody, bro, you de-armored yourself. That wasn't quick. She didn't just throw herself on you. You made a calculated decision. You got de-armored, motherfucker. Like, you was the
takes time. Probably would have taken an hour, to be honest.
And I still understand. You are not slanging, move away, give up my royalty and my name kind of dick. What's going on here? Like, what's up? Like, I don't get it. She's giving the man the best. You know, you could only be what you thought it was. She tells him, like, listen, bro, we got an arrangement. Me and my man said, it ain't gonna be nothing. I'm only gonna be with you. Like, what's the problem? He's like, let's go run off my honor. Let's go run off and go be with you. I don't get it. You sullied me. I gotta kill myself. I don't fucking get it. Like, there's no, she didn't do shit to him. And how have you maintained an attitude for 15 years? And you mad at him? He was first choice. He was first choice side dick. What is the problem? You
gotta understand. You guys gotta understand. Sir Christian Cole's a big fan of Top G. He learns it all from Tate himself.
That's what it was. I should have known. I should have known. I should have recognized the Top G.
In my heart, the minute he started popping that shit on the boat, the minute he started acting like that on the boat, when she raised it to him, she should have taken him out the game. And personally, for me, if I didn't kill him immediately when he got off the boat after doing that, I'd be like, oh, okay, I fucked up. I made the wrong choice. If when he was like, oh my God, who got the whole kingdom got to know we fucking, what's wrong with you? Like, and then you out here, you gonna murder my husband's side, they're on the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I can't believe he's still. That's the Rhaenyra's problem. Can't nobody be my enemy in plain sight? There's no way nobody's gonna make themselves known to me and as my adversary and just keep living and shit. Are you fucking serious? I'd have been, and like, y'all that don't punish deaths the real way and all that, y'all just be letting shit rock. So Kristen Cole is the hell murdering people's side dudes all in front of us, all at the wedding, and he's still around. I'm killing him. No one's saying nothing to me. What is this? I would have been took him out. I don't know how you just gonna let them be. He just openly fucking hating on you every day. He worked for you, and he in the kingdom talking bad shit with this bitch who was fucking your daddy, and now he talking about your children not in my kingdom. Not in my kingdom. It was Dracarys for breakfast. I was taking everybody out. What are you talking about? And I was gonna say, I don't know. I just say, you know what? They're dragons. I don't really control them. You know, that's just a myth.
So I guess this week we're canceling Sir Christian Cole. That's who's been canceled.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
that's easy.
Do we have an uncanceled canceled? Any ideas?
Beetlejuice.
Who? Somebody to uncancel. Who's canceled? Y'all can please make suggestions in the chat. Throw out people because I be forgetting folk.
Yeah, I'm bad with names to like.
Yeah, I have no idea this week.
Could we do a short-term uncancellation? Like we're uncanceling them for just a few days. And if that's the case, I'm going to put forth everyone who works for the Daily Wire who's been talking shit about Stephen Crowder.
Yes.
Short-term cancellation there. I'm canceling them again after just a quick
hours.
Uncancellation as they continue to share these contract details, and Stephen Crowder is bitching and whining about getting paid only $50 million and have to agree to basically not be so racist to get banned from YouTube. I mean,
or you can do it. You just make less money. That's all. You just have to pay a little penalty, and you can be as racist as you want.
It was a straight up power move for them to come out and be like, "Yeah, we offered him $50 million," and he's bitching. Like they didn't, he didn't reveal the number. They come out and expose all these details. Yeah, I'm down for uncanceling temporarily as this is going on.
Now that you put it that way, though. Ultimate cell phone admitting to offering Stephen Crowder $50 million.
That's also true. Yeah.
That's so true.
No, 100%. That's why.
How much cash do they have? I'm still blown away.
I don't.
still can't.
They made $100 million in 2021, up from 2020 where they made $65 million. So 2022, I'm assuming they did pretty well too if they could offer that.
Okay, so
they just spent 75.
They must have more behind the scenes, like billionaires still putting money into this because initially billionaires launched it. I'm not sure if they're still there, but they must be.
They just spent $75 million on that Gina Carano Terror on the Prairie movie.
They spent $75 million on that?
That apparently was the movie's budget. Now, in movie making, you fudge a lot of those numbers and do things, but that's a lot to fudge if it's not even like in the couple of millions. Like it's got to be somewhere in the range, I'm assuming, but apparently the budget was $75 million for a movie that made $800 in the theaters.
I could make that movie with a budget of $200, same quality. That's ridiculous.
That is nuts.
So that's our uncanceled then. Any ideas for cancel?
We already
we did Sir Christian Cole, remember?
Yeah.
Like if that counts. I mean that was my idea, but
I thought it was approved.
Well, okay, we can approve that then. Sir
Since
Christian Cole canceled.
The cancellation penalty is death. So
I hope so.
Here on Leftist Mafia, we bring you the news of today and the pop culture of about 6 months ago.
I have to say, it's a good thing that we all watch the show because if we didn't, You know, it would have been kind of awkward. One person just sitting there, be like,
Well, according to Celeste, she commented and she's like, "I didn't watch the show, but I stood up and clapped after Olay said that."
I have a whole. For who doesn't know, I did react commentary videos in every episode. So there's a thread on Twitter. If y'all want that, I'll.
Well, you did do one. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I did commentary on all of these. Yeah, so I'm gonna find it right now. Let me get it.
Oh, you have to. That's got to be a segment on your show, on your YouTube.
Olay, do you watch Big Brother?
No.
Oh, because that would be a good one.
Should I?
I think you should. The last 2 seasons were really, really good.
I watched season 2 of that show.
I'm
what are they on now?
They're on 24.
I sent the link to the thread to our group chat, so y'all can put it in the chat if y'all are able. And I hate, Twitter doesn't work anymore. So if some of the videos, all your old videos now might not play, they'll mute out. Have y'all seen that? Like start run back. So if that happens, I am so sorry that Elon Musk ruined Twitter, and I don't have my House of Dragon videos like anywhere else, but I have them. So if y'all want them enough, if they don't work, I'll upload them like on Instagram. But
did we not talk about that? How bad Twitter's been, and I'm not even talking like
the
right wing. I'm not even talking the right wing stuff. Like I wish I wish my feed was just shitty right wing tweets, so I would have something to shit on. But all I'm getting is completely irrelevant. Viral video garbage that you see like on Facebook that I have zero interest in. I would never interact with. Like people always talk about like, oh man, the TikTok for you page is so insanely relevant to your interests. Like, how do they know exactly what you want to see? It seems like Twitter's algorithm is like, do whatever the opposite of what TikTok's for you page is. Give people the absolute opposite of what they want to see.
Is the fact that like the app, like I'm so fucking pissed off about the way like the glitches and the way the app doesn't run anymore, and there's literally no effort being made to address it, and it's infuriating. Like the video thing, as somebody who has a lot of video content on Twitter, I am so annoyed. Like I can't, I used to be able to retweet things. Now you do it, and people are like, the video doesn't play, it's muted out, like blah blah blah, it's running back. I want to punch him. Like, and the fact that you keep rolling out all these terrible changes to the app, like for you, the following page, the views, all this shitty analytics. Shit. Yes, but fix the fucking problems, bro. Like, yo, crawl before you ball. Fix the glitches. What the fuck? You keep fucking up the app. Like, what is wrong?
He fired like all the staff. Like, what is it? and the guy can't program himself.
The funniest thing is, ever since these new algorithm changes, which are clearly based on like whatever's viral online, just throw that shit in front of everybody because they think that's going to be what what gets the most interactions and shit. Even after their king, Elon Musk, took over, the conservatives are out there going, I'm getting less interaction than ever before.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw Cat Shirt is complaining about that shit.
Mr. Musk, fix this immediately.
Yeah, why am I getting this many views? No clicks.
Let me get it. Someone asked for Raheem cameo. I'll get him. 1 second.
By the way, every time I put any tweet out, there's this one spam message that's a different account every time, where it's like, have you heard about this thing? This I don't know. It's like some crypto shit, I'm sure. But like, I always get this. I get way more spam now on tweets than I ever did before Elon Musk took over. And it's just this. It's insane shit. Oh, look at this kitty.
Oh, Raheem.
Yeah.
There was a moment when you turned your camera back on, where I guess StreamYard was like delayed, and it showed like a frame of you without the cat, and then all of a sudden it just cut to you with the cat. It's like the cat just appeared out of thin air.
This is my son, Raheem Marlo O'Lurin. We love him. Yes, I adopted him. He used to terrorize the streets of Bushwick and fuck all the cats up. He invaded a feral cat colony and beat the brakes off all the cats. So they trapped him and sent him away to a place for bad cats. Turns out he's not bad or feral. He just likes to fight, and he was hungry, and he has FIV, and it was talking about my baby bad. So I brought him to my house. Turns out this is my child.
Oh, I love him.
Look at the star. Y'all see this treat me? Look at that. You don't want to show the people you love me?
He's got a little bit of an attitude. I noticed that.
Like, you see how he's smiling? Like,
But I see Olay, he loves you more than my cat loves me. My cat, she was sharpening her paws on her little scratching post. So I go and I pet her. I'm like, hi, kitty. And then I walk away. And as I walk away, I turn around and she's behind me. She was about to grab my leg to attack me. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just petting you. Like, I get no respect.
No, my son actually loves me. I'm not even gonna lie. He loves the shit out of me. He puts up with all my madness. Like, if he just be in the house like, girl, hi, son.
Lance, we've got to see Chico now. Is Chico there?
We
Oh, yeah, I know. My dogs are like in the other area. I locked them out of the room.
Your dog?
I have two dogs and a
I'll see if I
cat.
can lure him. I'll try to lure him with food.
Olay, do you have your call-in show today or no?
So it's up to y'all. I did like a special edition before at 6 o'clock for like law students to ask me questions and stuff. So if people really want me to do tea time, like I can still do episodes tonight after you hop off air. It's up to them. I like it's up to what people. If y'all really want me to go in there and talk mess, I will.
I just want to make sure that you'd be that you'd plugging it if you are going to go live.
Yes. No, they gotta tell me. Raise more noise on Twitter about that broken video thing. I've been bitching about it. I don't stop bitching. What you mean? Perplexed. I have been bitching about the broken video thing. I complain all the time till I'm blue in the face. Don't nobody listen to me. Elon Musk don't give a fuck about this app working.
Yeah, it's just gonna be broken. It's on Safari. It barely works anymore. It'll load endlessly. It's trash now. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Has he introduced a single change that's been good?
No.
Oh, hi, Chico.
Oh, did you hear how Twitter officially changed their developer rules? Basically killing all those Twitter clients. Twitterific is done now.
All
those really?
Twitterific is dead. Yep.
Twitterific.
What?
Yep. Can't make a third-party Twitter client anymore.
What's the purpose of that? So that they have full control over like the timeline?
They were able to basically get around showing ads in those. And you could show the timeline differently.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people liked using those apps, and apparently, there were accessibility features with those apps that Twitter doesn't offer on their own app. So people who have, accessibility issues, were using those apps, and now they can't anymore. But
I did not hear about that. Wow.
He doesn't care about that.
No, he doesn't care. Of course not.
Olay, I'm curious what you're drinking because I want to see. It looks really good.
Oh.
Cut her at a good time. Looks like peach something.
Yeah, what flavor is that?
Mangarita.
Mango. Oh,
shit.
Okay. That sounds really good, actually.
I know, God, you're making me want one. Shit.
Mango, anything. It's good for me.
I love mango.
I do Leftist Mafia in the most comfortable of formats. I was like, I'm gonna get me a little drink. I'm gonna get me a little special blend. Just for this. Yes, down the wrong pipe, Steven, is exactly. So, does anybody have anything they want to say that's asked us to talk about right quick before? Tell us now. Speak now.
Oh yeah, you got to do your show. I keep forgetting you have an.
No, I don't necessarily have to tonight because I did an episode earlier, so I'm off the hook.
Oh, nice.
I did it at 6 o'clock today, so I had a bunch of law students asking me questions in my DMs, and I was like, I could kill two birds with one stone. Let me just do an episode and put some lawyers on, and people can, and that's what we did. So I did that.
That's awesome that you did that because it's so difficult if you don't know anyone in your life, like where to even begin. Yeah. Like I was the first college student in my whole family. So I had no fucking idea. And I dropped out of high school. So I had no idea what I was doing. Like after I got my GED, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck a credit is. Like where do I even begin? They put me in elementary math. So to have that as a resource is invaluable.
Good. I'm glad good. That makes me feel like I'm doing worthwhile things. Like,
oh yeah.
I was like, let me answer some questions. I want to know everyone at the hobby. Smoke. Smoke. What do y'all do?
I play video games mostly as a hobby.
Same.
I smoke.
I do that, then I play video games.
Yeah, I do that. I usually smoke while I play.
Like, yeah, no. I honestly, let me see. As a hobby, I spent most of my money on smoking. art and plants.
And plants.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, well, yeah. So, however you spit it, I buy a lot of plants, a lot of books, a lot of art. Yo, y'all want to see these new art pieces that I just got that are gonna get on Friday? That are so fucking dope.
Yes, I want to see them.
Oh my god,
I need some art in my place. My walls are bare.
Are they?
Not my walls.
I live.
David, I wanted to quickly ask you, like, are you guys losing your healthcare? Is that happening?
So I did a video on this week. Check the channel.
Okay.
So this is what's happening. Doug Ford is there already are basically Doug Ford is expanding the ability to have private options for certain procedures.
Oh fuck!
But it's still covered under OHIP. OHIP is our universal coverage, but these private facilities bill the province more than a regular hospital would, and they are. So the issue here with the healthcare, so there's some wait times for cataracts, for knee surgery, that kind of thing, and the issue isn't a lack of rooms to do the procedures. The issue is a lack of staff. There is something called Bill 124 in Canada, where nurses essentially are being incredibly underpaid, and their pay has risen only 15% over the last, I think, 10 years, compared to police and firefighters, that their pay has risen 30%. So basically, nurses are asking to make, at the very least, parity, just with other public services. So, but because they're not getting that, they are leaving in droves. So there are massive gaps in our healthcare industry in terms of a lack of nurses now. And that is leading to issues with wait times and emergency room overcrowding. So that is the idea behind introducing these private facilities to have some of these procedures. But again, they're just going to be taking staff from public hospitals. So it's not going to solve any problem. It's just going to move people around. And this has been shown before in other provinces that have tried to introduce private options for certain things, like MRIs in Saskatchewan. They tried that, and wait times actually went up because, again, the issue is staffing. The issue isn't a lack of facility. So there is this, further encroachment of private entity into Canadian healthcare. And of course, Doug Ford behind the scenes, very influenced by the lobbying group from private healthcare industry. So that is why he is implementing. The only people this is benefiting at all are private healthcare executives. And that is why he's doing this while pretending he's addressing, the healthcare issue. So it's just continuing to normalize private healthcare when the issue is just a lack of funding and a lack of the lack of wages for nurses who have insane jobs, work incredibly insane hours, and they're just not getting the respect that other professions in public services are.
That's
like
awful.
war on the poor continue.
Y'all want to see my art?
Y'all
want to see my art?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, well, first, this is my living room, so y'all could a piece of my living room, so y'all could see how it's gonna go. Now, let me show you my art. So y'all have a lot of DBZ art, like Dragon. I have a lot of Dragon Ball Z art. I have a lot of Boondocks, but I got Huey and Riley
really nice.
and Boondocks commission. You see there in Dragon
Wow.
Z style. Look at that.
Where'd you commission that from?
I commissioned it from. Let me plug y'all the artist. He is fucking amazing. He is amazing. So on Twitter, on Instagram, he is YB the Art Trapper. So this is his account. He is fucking amazing. His art is so dope. He'd actually, and I was also thinking about buying this from him. This is Majin Buu.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, listen, a nerd. So anyway, I can't wait till it comes. And he did it in a day. He'd already done the art and sold it, and I commissioned him, and he redid it. He made it, and he did it in a day for me, completely drew and painted over, and it's gonna get her Friday. It's gonna be Friday. I'm so excited, and I have some new art to hang up. I have my Biggie I have to hang up because I just got my new Tupac. See my Biggie, and when I just got my Tupac, I'm gonna frame it. My apartment's so wavy.
Lance and Matt, I don't think you guys answered. What are your hobbies? What do you guys do for fun when you have free time?
In the winter, I like snowboarding if we're able to, because I live in BC. So I'm in this weird part of the world where you can be on the beach and it's sunny, and then go to the mountains in the same day. It's pretty wild. I don't know anywhere else that has that. It's pretty pretty bonkers. Outside of that, I too enjoy video games. I like reading. I also enjoy the motion picture, one frame to another. I'm actually someone who likes. I'm one of the few people who still likes movie theaters. I like going to a movie and then like seeing like a really scary movie with like other humans and hearing the screams and shit. I find that, or laughing, or going to a comedy and having a whole bunch of people laughing. Like I find that shit fun as hell. I still like it.
I took myself in a
like
movies last weekend.
Oh yeah, what'd you see?
I went and saw Megan.
Oh, okay, I was it Megan? Did you like it?
Yes, actually, I thought it was gonna be like trash. That's what I thought people were saying. I was like, let me go watch this for mess, even though I'm scared of dolls. But I'm not scared of like I'm terrified of dolls. I don't know if I've ever told y'all this. This is my life fear. But when you say that, people usually be like, oh, I know you real scared of Chucky and them. No, because Chucky's honest. So I at least appreciate like this doll. I know this bitch is alive. She's not perpetrating. She is alive. I know she is dangerous. Look at this. I'm up on her. At least she not gas like me, like the rest of these damn dolls. But I watched that. That was good.
Yeah, look, I want to see that. That looks good.
Yeah, let's go watch it.
I thought it looked like trash, but good trash. It looked like fun.
Yeah, it was
like a stupid, like fun movie.
Old girl from Get Out. You know the girl from Get Out who's from Girls. She's the star of this one.
Yeah, she's the star.
She plays a good white woman. Like she really does that. I would trust her in real life at this point. Like she's not even evil in it. She's just like, I don't trust you no more.
She's really evil and Get Out.
Bruh, listen.
She's
Get Out.
in that.
Yeah, she was.
Get Out. When did y'all see Get Out in theaters?
Yeah,
I didn't. I saw it after.
I think I did. Yeah.
Who'd y'all see it with, and how was the experience when you went to go see Get Out? And what were people saying in the theaters? What was the reaction? What was the commentary of the person you went with?
I went with a pretty multicultural crew. That was where the question was going. I think it was like I was the only white guy, but there was like one of our best friends is Indian, one is Korean, one is black, and everyone was pretty blown away by it. I think what was neat is a lot of people, especially like other white people, were like, "Was that going after progressives? Were the bad guys progressives in this? Were they like like liberals?" And
they were liberals specifically.
Yeah, absolutely they were. Like that was the point. The white liberal who's just like, "Oh, well, I voted for Obama, by the way." And
I done that third time.
That scene was so. Oh my god! It's just like
yeah.
Yeah. So it was really neat to see that. Like I'd never seen that in a movie before. I was like, there's creepy elements of this that almost feel like some really cool old Cronenberg body horror film, and then there's parts of this that like I'd never seen before. I'd never seen this issue or these kind of topics tackled in like surreal horror.
What about you, David? Who'd you see it with?
My girlfriend. We both enjoyed it. I don't remember like any specific commentary, but we were both we really enjoyed it. Like we were kind of blown away by it as well.
I went to go see that movie with a white guy, and it was smoke from beginning to end. It was stress. It was like we never spoke a fucking again after
really
discussion in the cab. Yo, it was
too much
smoke from beginning. Like, bro, like I'm telling you, just everywhere. Like it's crazy if I watch some white people and they just see that entirely different. And he just was in the car saying wild shit, just like Lil Wayne don't support Black Lives Matter. I'm like, nigga, what?
What?
He just got the guy that started saying crazy shit. I'm like,
well, my takeaway from this film.
Like,
oh my god.
That's what I think.
There's conservative black people, by the way.
Listen, I feel like
yeah.
Just so you know, okay,
bro, very much so.
Herschel Walker. Have you heard of Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, see, I'm horrible in the comments. Yeah, no, but Get Out was good. I've also very much so been, like I said, I went to school in West Virginia and Ohio, so I've very much so been the black person in the boonies in the middle of nowhere, white people moving crazy, except they're not even usually like liberals. They're usually like bona fide open racists saying crazy shit in the house, like, and I'm just like, like you ever like I have legitimately been like the weekend gas at the homes of white people where it's literally like, this is scary. like technically like I shouldn't be here. Like it's not safe. Like it's not like you know.
I
it's
mean,
not
West
safe.
Virginia is like you can't get.
I wouldn't even go to that.
Why did you live there?
Why did let me tell you?
Same.
I will tell you why I lived there, because my parents did not. My parents still live in the Bahamas. They did not come to America with me, and they have no frame of reference for anything and blah, 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 blah. So when we were looking into boarding schools, my mommy just liked the headmaster on the phone. She liked him. He just That seems comfortable. Send me there. They don't have any knowledge of West Virginia. My parents have no fucking clue. They probably don't even know West Virginia and Virginia are 2 different states. Like so they send me there. And mind you, you're black, coming from a black majority country. You don't even know. Like I got to figure out racism from the ground up. And this, whereas like racism afterwards, like I remember, like y'all don't know the kind of like overt comical racism stories I have from boarding school. Like you have no idea. Like, okay, boom. So I go up to this Woodsfield, Ohio. You'll never hear that again. That'll never come up again. Woodsfield, like middle of nowhere. The weekend guest, like this. Oh Lord, I was going to prom. With this guy. He's white. Like I said, I'm the only black person. like, and so his family immediately like, you need to come up home immediately and seek wise counsel. So anyway, yeah, child. Like, how we gonna show the neighbors the pictures? And I'm not. That's what they said. Like so where I'm at the dinner table, and the dad is like, whole table, family table is me sitting there. The daddy goes, and I'm sorry, David. You know, Facebook, but I already done said the N-word so many times. You'll be all right. And it's not my fault. That's what he said. So whole table, white people, Woodsfield, Ohio, just me, guns all in the house. He gonna say, "Hey, allow me. You know why we call that road over there Nigger Run?" And I was like, why? like you get it, like
the fuck?
Why? And he goes, because if you get found over there, nigga, you better run. Whole table like I'm over here like
that's old timey. That's old timey racist.
No,
are you sure this isn't a scene from Get Out? Like this sounds.
I'm
this
telling you,
sounds
I've lived
scary shit.
I'm telling you, I was watching Get Out like this, like.
It's like a documentary, yeah.
Like I remember they held me up, like they literally locked me in the study and sat me down and made me watch one of those like right-wing propaganda videos about how abortion is there to like take out the black people and da 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 da. And I'm sitting there like,
wait, what?
Oh my god!
You know the kind of shit I had to deal with, son. Oh my god! I used to be I have an advanced degree in racism. Like y'all have no idea. Like that's I'm like when people be like, oh, these people ain't upsetting you on TV. I'm like, on what? At least I have an audience to say something about it. Before I used to just be by myself, like, anybody getting this?
Yeah.
They used to torture me, son. They used to come up with all kind of shit. I remember the time his sister, he had a sister that was so super racist, and the sister came up with this whole theory. Like she made a whole scientific theory around jungle fever, child. You couldn't tell her. She was telling the whole family I had some kind of sex spell on this boy. I'm like, I don't even know what.
Oh my fucking
yo,
God.
they were nuts. Like, yo, they were nuts. The palpable racism. I'm telling you, like even down to the house, everything and Get Out looked the same. I was watching Get Out like I'm telling you, I was like guessing the stuff, and then the white guy next to me is like, no, that's not gonna be. I'm like, I'm telling you, I know white people. You don't know white people like I know white people. I'm telling you, this is what's up. But like, yeah, no.
We should fill like half an episode next time with like these stories, because this stuff is just wild.
I've got nothing but stories. Like I said, I've lived a life. I've lived in Florida, West Virginia, Ohio, New York. I moved to this country alone at 15, so I have a bunch of it. Like it's very much so a lot of growing pains of like, oh, what's going on? Like, is this, like it's funny too, because I like racism, it's not that there isn't that in the Bahamas, right? Like obviously we have different things. It appears differently. The majority of the police is black. So my mommy was always somebody who would talk about racism, like, or tell me about it, like when I was a kid. And there are barely any white people. Like white people are a minority in the Bahamas. So like from my perspective, I'm like, what the fuck? What is this woman talking about? What is she running on about with the white people? What is okay, mama? All right, man. All right, Monique. All right, chill out. I get to America, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out slowly. Like, I'm in West Virginia though, so they saying wild shit. I'm like, where could that come from? That particular, like, I remember the first time I even heard like a racist, like, I was in Florida, and my friend, like my one friend, he was saying all kind of racist stereotypes, but I couldn't figure out he was being racist or it was stereotypes because I was just confused. He'd be like he was talking about how black people can't swim and all this stuff. And I'm like, me, black country from an island. I'm like, where is he getting this information? Like, I don't even realize he's making a stereotype. I'm just like, what is he talking about? He's talking about like the things they would throw out. I'd be like, chicken. I don't like what are we saying? You try, so it's like you figuring it out from the ground up. So it'd be like that, and then I'm in West Virginia now, and I'm in these like overt racist scenarios. I'm like, what are you talking about? What you mean his bloodline? What you mean? What you bloodline? No, they would really give it up like that. They would really like it was very wild. The commentary they would say to you, and again, I'd just be around like nobody's filming. This is happening. Y'all hear it? I'm telling you, the wise counsel. I literally had to take my aunt and my uncle there, and these people really sat down and broke out the Bible to explain to my aunt and my uncle why the Bible says that you're supposed to be with people. You're not supposed to be with people who are unequally yoked, and black people are the cursed people of Ham. So why their son can't be taking me to prom, child?
Okay, did they share that with your aunt and uncle just like unprompted?
We're sitting in the living room. They've made us drive up to Boonies, Ohio, because they're really like torn up about this guy taking me to prom. They take my auntie and my uncle who are from the Bahamas and drunk, like in the Boonies, Ohio, and they really break out the Bible talking about cursed people. And how my auntie look at me like, I know they fucking lying. like let me get the fucking.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That's like traumatic too. Like that is.
At this point, honestly, it's comedy. Like I have so many like ridiculous, honestly funny stories. Like it's funny at this point. Like big jokes. Because why? Like hilarious. But yeah, it was a lot of that. A lot of that in school. Like, yeah, Joseph, you're right. Joseph said I was once told by a white person that it was a cultural thing for black people to hang them. That's powerful. That's really powerful.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Anyways, it's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Me and Binder, I think, or at least I know me. I'm falling asleep.
I'm sorry.
Look at Binder. Binder's like, I can't do it.
I don't know what's going. Usually I could go late. I've done my own streams. I do till 1 sometimes, but then sometimes I just get this feeling at a certain moment where it's just like my brain shuts off, my body's shutting down. It's because I do the late streams. I can't do the early streams because I got a day job. Unlike you guys who are professional YouTubers over here.
Olay's a lawyer.
Not you. The three.
Clear me.
Yes, we can be the three amigos.
I know you're not. You don't even have a YouTube channel yet. You just said. I'm talking about the Mike, David, and Lance is a Twitch guy, but he's got a YouTube channel too.
I'm in everything. I do documentaries on the YouTubes too. Speaking of which, David Dole, where can we find you if you wanted to see more of your
TheRationalNational.com, and the Patreon page is TheRationalNational.com/join. There you go.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, humanistreport.com, patreon.com/humanistreport. Check out my videos and like every single video because the algorithm is clapping my cheeks right now. It does this in January in particular, but definitely like the videos you watch from us. That'll go a long way.
That helps.
Matt, do you want me to roll call?
Sure. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Please subscribe. I have a lot less subscribers than Mike and David and company. So get me up there. And also twitch.tv/Matt Binder, where I have a lot less followers than Lance. So get me up there too. Get me in the range there. And at Matt Binder on Twitter, of course. Yes.
Y'all can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Miss Olay and call in at Miss Olurin, MSOLURIN. Tea Time with Olay is on Callin. Y'all should subscribe. We normally do the episode after. I normally do tea time after this, but I did it before the show this time. But next week we'll be back to regular, and I might add a second episode for the week. Y'all should subscribe to my Substack, Olurinati. That's my baby. I put out a new essay yesterday that I spent a lot of time on, and I loved it. And it was great. So yeah, I think that's it.
Lance?
And you can find me everywhere. Social media is sold at The Surfs TV. Super easy. At The Surfs TV.
Bye, y'all.
All right.
Bye.
See you all next weekend.
Hello, audience. I will stay here until I finish these super chats. There we go. All right. So that was a fun show. Good time. Let me grab all of the supers and answers chats, and then I'll be out of here as well. So, and then I'll probably go to sleep. Maybe I can sneak in an hour or two of Radiant Historia. It's the new JRPG I'm into. Having a really good time. Also started Persona 4 Golden, because why not start 2 long JRPGs in the same week? Very smart thing that I do not recommend you do. But every time I gotta find these super chats because YouTube just hides them. Okay. Here we go. So today's the 19th. Make sure I get the dates right here. Okay, let's going from the earliest to the latest. Cutthroat Juggalo says, you asked for help in your video. F the Daily Wire. Thank you so much. Thank you for your very generous. You did 2 of them during the stream. Thank you. At least 2 that I see so far. Thank you so much for your generous super chat. Fly Chomperfly says, Roger Waters seems to have bailed the progressives. I haven't followed that guy since he stuck his trailer to Mr. Door. Juggalo again. Thank you. It says, don't forget to like the video. I agree. Thank you so much. For the Snowflake says, will the Leftist Mafia counter a Crowder's Daily Wire offer for $51 million? Tap Uncle Soros. Yeah, definitely not bringing over the Crowder. Juggalo, thank you again for your generous super chat. Mayers, Sujan Mayers, is that correct? Says, keep on keeping on. Thank you, lefties. Thank you. Aaron Landis, thank you for your super sticker. Chopperfly says, thank you for your love. Thank you. Jen says, love you all. Together, this is great. Thank you, Jen. Jake says, Jake Hagman says, is the GOP going to succeed in shutting down the government over the debt ceiling? I think we addressed that in the video in our stream. I don't think they will, because that would just hurt their own donors. Infinite Content says, holy S, David, I just realized that Santos is the son Donald Trump always wanted. I wonder what Trump thinks about Santos. If he's like impressed by him, or I bet you he's impressed by him and just the level of lying. Lizzie Bennett says, any possibility of having Dusty Smith as a guest? Dusty Smith. I don't know who this is. Sounds familiar, but I'm not positive I know who this is. I don't know who this is. I apologize. Though I think I've heard the name, but I could be wrong. Where was I here? Wanda says, would you consider UK Navarro Media host as a guest? Sure. Lizzie says, y'all talked about Louder with Chowder yet? Yes, we did earlier in the stream. Chomperfly says, sorry, but this love soap opera is what's wrong. I don't know what that's referring to. Did not get the timing down on that chat. I apologize. But thank you so much for showing up. This was fantastic. This was great. Cult of Dusty is a YouTuber. Yeah, I feel like I've heard that name. I can't put a video to the name. But there we go. Oh my goodness. Yes, send us your recommendations for future. I mean, there's countless guests that we could have on, so I'm sure at some point we'll have most of the good people on. But yeah, I think it's time to play some Radiant Historia, a Atlas RPG, a hidden gem, I was told, and they are correct. Very hidden gem. Fantastic game so far. So where can you get a Rational National shirt? Oh my goodness. Link is below the video on YouTube. therationalnational.com/merch. I believe that's the link. It's one of my newer links, so it's not one that I often think about. But let me test that out right now. therationalnational.com/merch. That is the page. therationalnational.com/merch. That will redirect you to the shop page, and there is a mug on there. There's a shirt, black and white. There are tank tops, so you can show off your large muscles. There's a hoodie, and there is even a couple of hats. There you go. All right. Thank you all so much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.